activation.
Right, I've just started recording.
Alright.
Crack that open. Boom! We are live. We were live a little bit earlier as well. What is going on, guys? Welcome. Today is Friday Q&A with Chocks A, number 79. And of course, it is the 20th of July, 2018. What is going on, America? Are you having a good morning? Having a good afternoon to the EU boys and girls? Are you guys having a good evening to Asia? And you should be sleeping Australia. What is going on, guys? How's your week been? It is, of course, been 1 week since we've last done this, Chocks.
Oh,
It's been a busy one, hasn't it?
super busy. Super busy.
So busy.
Super busy.
Let us know, guys, what's going on. Hey, Jose, what's going on, mate? Have words with Lorenzo. Hey, Aiden, appreciate the support for that. Hey, Chris Hildebrand Jr., what's going on, mate? Yeah, Rob Newberry, you're absolutely right. Today is all about the anime Cowboy Bebop. It will all be about Spike. Spiegel will be rocking that a little bit later on towards the end of the show. What's going on, Eric? I've seen you a lot in the BS group. Hey, Billy, what's going on? How's the baby? Chocks has been showing me MJP. Who let you loose on that digger, mate?
What? Oh, you haven't heard.
Of what?
The guy.
Well, the last time you showed me, he was like...
Oh, yeah, but you haven't heard today.
Oh, okay. Oh, you mean the story is... You mean there's more to the story?
There's more to the story.
Oh, don't tell me it ends up in like...
Like last week, that whole lawn was like loads of bushes.
Right.
All nice and
I
green.
was seeing the...
It was all nice and green.
Yeah,
and it's like, boom. I'm maybe 70-year-old, but I'm like fast, right?
Right, okay.
It's like a one-man team.
You're right, yeah. You were telling me,
and it's like all brown.
Yeah.
Like, dug it all up.
Yeah.
And all, and made his own little like.
Sounds amazing, right? Sounds perfect. There's a butt here somewhere.
There's a butt here. I believe, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, MJP. The guy died.
MJP's still here, mate. He didn't die.
No, not MJP, but his job. The job stops. So I was like,
what do you mean the job stopped?
the job was to, I believe, he had to make a concrete path for the wheelchair to go up and all that stuff.
What do you mean the guy who commissioned it died?
Yeah. So
is he written in the will?
So the guy, so Martin's gonna like, hey, Martin. My first question was, hey, Martin, does that mean you're gonna like returf that lawn?
We'll put it back. Wait, tell me, how does that work? Do you get paid? I mean,
I don't know. I didn't go into the details. I just like, 1 week it's green, next week it's brown, and then like, it's green again. Because I thought this was I thought this was like 2 in a row. Because he had another client that kind of passed away as well, but that was after the job was finished. Yeah, this is like on the job.
Billy, are you telling me that your boy was over at during that Dead Night? No, Batman Dark Knight thing in Aurora. Jesus, sorry to hear that, mate. Went to the job at 8 AM. The guy died during the night. Jesus, can we have a nice weekend, please? That is really difficult. I mean, oh, jeez, what is going on? What's going on? It's bedlam. It's bedlam. Bedlam, I tell you. Hey Emma, how's it going? I get paid as the guy doesn't need the ramp now. But who pays you then? Is someone else paying you? Hey Rob. Yeah, I mean some nice stuff going on there. Blitzway's kicking ass. Some nice Iron Studio stuff I see going on. I appreciate a lot of the stuff out there. It's all very good.
Yeah,
very
every
nice.
company out there has brought their
A game.
Yeah.
Done a really good job. Really good job. And it, it motivates us as well to bring our A++.
Yeah, hey, don't we are at the SDCC as well. Apparently, we've got some products at the Dark Horse booth.
Boom! I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Happy Spike Friday. I like it, Eric. Yeah, baby.
Yes, finally. It's been a long week. Finally, we get to start the reservation for Spike.
Uncle Scab says the guy next to me had an aneurysm and then a stroke when I was in the bathroom. It's just like, can we stop being so fragile? Just like, what? It's like ridiculous. You never know, right, Chocks? So you got to live every day.
Yeah.
And appreciate every single day.
So don't.
Except for that other day when that guy was messing about. I was like, oh my god.
So whatever you do,
Jeffrey.
So whatever you do, don't have a heart attack. Don't make this guy have a heart attack during who dat. I don't want this broadcast live.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Watcholic in the hose. Shout out to anybody who's up for a bit of the old Claymore action. Make sure you get on that TT. Rally the fans on a Friday, on the Sunday. Yeah, baby. Alex Flores, we only have no plans to do NYCC. It's been well documented that we will never do. Well, I say we will never do NYCC. If we were to do NYCC, if we had known what NYCC was going to be like for us, we would never have gone. But because it really was a big mistake for us to go the way that we did, inexperienced as we were then. But we're now going to apply what we've learned at NYCC and apply it to Gamescom, which is in Germany. And if we can crack the code and prove that it's actually financially viable for us to do it, you best believe all the big shows we can be having a presence there by dealing with something like that. Indeed, Colin, I saw you there, so I'll give you a shout out, mate. MJP, where were the 3 Lucky Cat Marios during the old semi-finals?
Yeah, it's fine. I finally got around to making that cabinet to stick all those F4F pieces in.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle Scab, you're talking about NYCC. Would you go back if you did comic stuff? Randy says. One of the aspects is whether or not people recognize. Let's be honest. NYCC has a lot of people going to it. It was 180,000 people or something like that. Yeah, I know Gamescom is going to cane it with 300,000, but you would expect a good slice of that 180 to be into games. The point is, we didn't set it up to take pre-orders. We didn't have the ability to take pre-orders. If we can crack it, Chocks, that's 100. If we can crack it with Gamescom, if we can prove it, you best believe we're going to be tackling all that sort of good stuff. A bit of the old pracs. We're going to have some more anime offerings, so we can do some more. Do some anime expos, all that sort of good stuff. So it's definitely something that we have been considering, but it's got to crack it. We've got to make sense. Work with strategic partners. Shout out to Jose. Maybe something we can be doing a little later on over in MCM. I mean, there's lots of things to think about, lots of things to be able to do. Anime Boston. There you go, Faith. Dragon Con Atlanta. We would do the cons if we could crack the way to make it financially viable. So that's what's up. That's what's up. ACG. Are we C30?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Michael. Didn't know where to go. Uncle Scabs. People want to leave with items in hand. Well, we can't physically do what... we internally have cracked. Was it this week? That was what we did this week, right? We cracked it this week.
What? Oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
right,
yeah.
So last week, guys, we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on. Kassler, you need that Sailor Moon. That Sailor Moon. Hey Christopher. FDLs are now 2.0. Remember, Zelda fans' biggest fight is against other Zelda items, Zelda pieces versus other Zelda pieces. You got to consider how Midna did. MAD. Let's see what's up at Gamescom, yo. Bonjour.
MAD.
Guten Tag. Hey, Kana. Representing the odd world. I like it. That's cool. That's cool. So, how have you guys been? Apart from like any happy stories this week?
There's been some happy stories, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Majora's Mask conversions.
Yeah, conversions.
People getting converted.
What else, guys? What else you been up to? You guys had a good week overall?
Yeah, since like the World Cup has kind of finished, right?
Right.
So what does everyone do? What does everyone get back to? Start the new season of the anime. You know, usually it's like every half a year the new seasons kick off.
Nice one. The validation queen has now got a bigger house now.
Well, she said, move to a house. Is it a bigger house?
A move to a house.
Yes.
All right, cool. So what? Originally an apartment, or how was it?
Celine has some good news, but a bit too early to say.
Oh?
Oh?
Where?
There, Celine. Bit too early to tell.
Normally it's the second trimester, if that's what we're about to talk about. Lucy's what, in a year now? So it would be good timing. It'll be one other financial year, school year, I guess. Would that be right? Something like that. How many school years with your bro?
Huh?
How many school year differences between your bro and you?
School years?
Yeah.
You don't talk like that. You don't say
of course you do.
Years. Just how old is he?
No, school years. I want to know how, like, school years.
School years?
Yeah. As in, like, it was either a year above you, or 2 years above you, or 3 years above you at school. That's how I look at it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he's 3 years older than me, so I'll just say he's 3 years above me.
But sometimes it could be like only 2 school years, depending.
Right,
you know, if you were...
that's not a normal conversation you have. It's like, how old is it? How much older?
No, I understand that. No,
Yeah.
I'm just talking about because Lucy, is now 1. If you think if Celine's news is what it might be, you know, teehee, right? Is like then let's assume that baby number 2 comes in. Let's say just started. It's
so it
too
could
early.
be
So
like...
it'll be like in let's say 7 months time, right? Yeah. So that's 18 months between the two. You could be the second year, as in sequential school years. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because sometimes it's closer in school years is anyways, yeah. That's cool. Nice one, Craig. I really appreciate the that you like your Majora's Mask. We had a lot of good time working on that. Bob, you've been playing a bit of the old Pokemon Go. Is that still... How is that in terms of... Has that had a revival recently? Because it's been some sort of connection between that and the...
A what?
Pokemon Go. Has there been any sort of...
I believe some
updates. What was it, that new game that you can play with that looks like the cubic shape? Or was that Eevee Let's Go? Or was it Pikachu Let's Go?
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, where they can like put them together. Like from Pokemon Go and put it into that. Can't remember.
I don't know. There's been too much stuff going on lately. It's hard to catch up. Keep up.
It's hard to keep up. Hey, Robert. Is that a 30th day off work because you're a man of leisure now? Or because it's a... How do you get 30 days off work? But actually don't tell the secret because Chocks will take you up on it. No. Just tell me. I'm going to cover it up so Chocks can't see. Let me know. How did you manage to get 30 days off work?
Interesting.
Oh, so it's lots better than it was in the past with Pokemon Go. Hey Anne, whereabouts are you? Which warehouse do you get it from?
Pokemon Let's Go. That's
Eevee,
on.
Yeah.
That's the Pokemon Quest is on. Is it the mobile?
Is it like sustaining the numbers? What is the sustaining number? What is the numbers for Pokemon Go now? Hey Mike, we certainly, when you talk about companion pieces, it's definitely something that we've been considering in the future. Although, if you were to say the swordfish with Spike, I wouldn't say that would be a companion piece. I would say that would be the first of a Cowboy Bebop range of statues. Sort of what are they called? Vehicles.
Crafts.
Yeah.
Crafts.
So swordfish, hammerhead. What is it? The butterfly. For Faye, and obviously the Bebop. You're in Texas. All right, Anne. 25th, there is a shipment going left already this week. Unfortunately, in this case, US is the slowest. Europe's receiving theirs soon. The first batch of Sonic 25th has already left the factory, but only just recently. So it really depends on when you placed your order. We'll have to do another batch that follows up afterwards. That factory is not my favorite factory right now whatsoever. It's the red. It's called the red tail, not the butterfly. The red tail. Hammerhead, red tail. That's it. Yeah. So, you know, that's definitely something that is not. I've not been happy about that. So I'm really apologize about that. I appreciate it. Really affects you guys. So I'm sorry about that. But well, what can I say? We have to keep pushing them to go. Unfortunately, it's been pretty tough for that 25th. It's really quite annoying because I know Australia's received theirs quite a long time ago. Yeah, Europe's getting theirs now, but unfortunately the US. I think Canadians are receiving theirs. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Robert's a teacher, so he's just basically been on holiday because school's out. School's out.
Long holiday. This was updating.
I love Victoria. She's taking that validation queen title really seriously.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a preference how the validation time lists are done? Would you prefer them all in order or by addition? For example, regular X and any addition.
Or breakdown. Breakdown in categories.
It should be sequential in order because if you talk about, for example, something where you have a pooling of the numbers together, because like the regulars are the regulars, the exclusives could involve a combo pack, definitive, whatever it may be, and therefore it would have to be sequential because it would be like number 3 is the X, number 4 is the DE, number 5 is the X, number 6 is the combo, you know, something like that. That's how it would have to go down.
Does that name ring a bell?
No. You can change your name anytime, mate.
That's true.
Hey, Brit. Nice one. It's the 20th anniversary. Hopefully you can toss that into the name of this piece. Spike's 20th anniversary. Well, Spike is Spike. I don't think you need to necessarily put it on there. Maybe in the description. Celebrating 20 years. Nothing to report, PJ, just yet, on anything like that. So, yeah. Oh, right. Let's do it, Chocks. Over to you.
All right. It's annoying. I have to open another tab for this.
Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Alright guys, notices this week. Thanks for joining the stream. Hopefully some of you guys are new to First for Figures Q&A stream.
That's right. Do we have any Friday Q&A with Chocks A virgins in the house? Or maybe knew that we were going to do this because of Spike. That would be interesting. What's happening, Dallas?
Oh, guys, you know we're not going to look at the PMs until after the stream, so no need to PM us during the stream.
All right, notices, Chocks.
All right, notices. All right, guys.
Oh, nice one, Chan. I appreciate that.
Finally, so
nice
we
one,
are
Alex.
going to do the reservation period for Cowboy Bebop Spike Spiegel, right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, up until 10 p.m. Tuesday. That will be known as reservation period. So
boom.
After the stream tonight, we will go live with Spike, and what that means is we're gonna put out a documentary. We're gonna put out the photos. The website's gonna go live. You're gonna get the pricing, all that lovely information towards the end of the stream, and then we'll go live after the stream. So take your time, enjoy the weekend, check out the documentary, which is about an hour long.
An hour and 20.
Yeah, an hour and 20 now.
Yeah.
All right. So check that out. Any feedback, put that in the Collectors Club as well, so we can gauge how that goes throughout the weekend. And then yeah, so hopefully the line will do well. This is the first in the new Cowboy Bebop line, so low numbers are up for grabs. And then yeah, we'll go into more detail once we start unveiling the Spike statue. All right, so
Absolutely.
some other information right now. Pre-orders for Crystal Dragon is still open until 24th of July. So you only got like, what, 4 or 5 days left for that one. So once the deadline is up, that will go into waitlist for the Crystal Dragon. And Banjo-Kazooie pre-orders are still open until 7th of August, so there's still plenty of time on that, but just like to keep you guys updated on that every week.
Yeah.
And would you be able to do that now? Right, nah. And that's about it really for now.
Right, all right.
Until the shout-outs later on.
All right, let's do it. So let's talk a little bit about the week in review. I want to kick it off and talk a little bit about Gamescom and about the post I did on that Friday or on that Saturday on the Sunday last week, because it's obviously part of the week in review. Yeah, it was. And I wanted to, you know, go on a little bit. Thanks, Eric. Just talk a little bit about what that post was, a little bit of a recap. And we had this conversation last stream, but I wanted to just talk about it again. NYCC for us was a colossal disaster, and from a multitude of different reasons, and I sort of gave that into a lot of detail. I won't go back into that. And there was obviously some good aspects, but we would never have done it. We should never have done it the way that we did. Now, I really need Gamescom to do well for the company, to make it viable for us to continue to do these conventions. Otherwise, we will not do them. And the reality is, we've been in business since 2003. We're still here, and we've only done one convention. Conventions are not a necessity to us whatsoever. It's something that we would love to keep doing, to do a tour, because we love to meet you guys. You know, it's very easy for us to stay in Hong Kong. We're very unknown in Hong Kong, and sort of have our blinkers on and just get down to it. It's really nice. I mean, one of the amazing aspects, Chocks, wouldn't it, of NYCC, with people to come onto the stand, light up when they see the product. Who the hell are we guys? Say who we are, and then meet people who did know who we were, and meet people in the club. All that sort of aspect was fantastic.
That is 100% no doubt exactly what we want.
Absolutely.
What we went for the show. Well, it's like part of what we went there for as well.
Right.
To meet the guys, meet the new guys, old guys. You know, chit chat. All that stuff is kind of like a mobile collectors club.
Right. That's absolutely
so it's
right.
like the collectors club on mobile.
Right.
So that aspect is perfect. We enjoy that ourselves. And you know, we always want to meet up with fans face to face.
Absolutely,
that part is absolutely no problem. So it's not really on you guys. It's all about us planning to make sure that
100%,
that the event 100%. Is sustainable.
I think it's also a retrospect. Like when we went there, if you looked at the way that we after NYCC, it was. You know, I had this sort of level of expectation, and yeah, it was below it, but I wasn't that disappointed right afterwards. But it became worse over time. I felt like the value of it went down when it was difficult to keep the club going with regards to sneaks and all that stuff. That's one aspect of things. Of course, the financial side of it was also, when I saw the bills at the end of it, I was like, oh, fuck me. That's
when reality hits home.
When reality hit back, yeah.
When reality hits home, and they're like, wish we could have planned it out better, wish we could do so much more.
I don't know, Alex, I appreciate, don't get me wrong, the best aspect of it was meeting the people, you know, Alex, for sure.
No, we liked NYCC, and if everything went well as planned, we would, you know, we wanted to go back because we did really enjoy it.
Yeah,
that aspect was fine. It's just reality when you start coming back and start crunching the numbers and doing this and doing that. It's all like, okay, wake up call.
Hey Sam, don't worry, you can just update your card if need be. So, is the audience right or wrong? Gamescom will definitely be the right audience, at least for our gaming section, which of course the majority of our products is of course gaming. But the ability to take pre-orders or orders or in-stock items at the booth at Gamescom is going to be absolutely key to see whether or not any financial ability to keep doing these cons comes and materializes, and that is definitely something that we need to really look closely at for Gamescom. And I had asked you guys whether or not you guys would be okay for us to actually take pre-orders on items that already have a edition size that is already fixed, but it's not finished production. And you guys were incredibly supportive, and thank you so much for that, to allow us to do that. And as a result, we've kind of now that we knew that was something that we could do, because you guys let us do that, we sort of sat down and tried to figure out a way with which to do it. Is that something we want to be talking about now, Chocks? The way that we're thinking of doing it, in case they have some different ideas, and maybe, what do you think? Or is it something that we don't want to say until later, or what do you think about that?
Have we finalised it?
We haven't, well, pretty much finalised it.
I mean, the idea is there.
Yeah, so why don't we sort of talk about that? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure about that, because, you know, it's only a month away.
Don't spend too long on it tonight.
We're not whodacking though, are we?
We're not.
Yeah,
But
sure,
don't spend that same equivalent of time on it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this, guys? So imagine you go into the booth, and there's a lot of people there, etc., and you want to pre-order. You see something, you go, hey, I want to pre-order that piece. What we're going to do is this. We want it to be really, really quick and easy to get in and out. So let's imagine you go onto the stand, you see something, and you're going to say that you like, and you see, I don't know, let's say Snake, right? You see Snake exclusive, we're taking Snake exclusive to the stand, and you go, hey, I want to buy that Snake exclusive. You have an order form, and I want to have Snake exclusive, and I want to have...
picture the scenario, right? Because I've been to quite a lot of cons.
All right.
Right, so the first thing that you go to onto a booth, you know the con's going to be very busy. You go on a booth, right? You could spend most of your time either looking at the products, looking around, all that, admiring all that, taking photos, videos, and all that stuff, or you're spending majority of your time queuing up to purchase that item. It's one or the other, all right? If you want to do both at the same time, that's going to take a big chunk of your day, right? So we came up with a system where hopefully you would spend less time in the queue, because once you've got that item that you purchased from us, you can spend the other remaining time to enjoy the product, to chat to us on the booth, right?
Right.
Before you head home or do something else. And this is why you're going to...
Okay, so let's say you go onto the stand, you see the latest SDPVC, you want to pre-order that. You see a Snake exclusive, you want to pre-order that. And you see an in-stock item, let's say you never see Breath of the Wild Link. You have a list, a checklist, and you go, right, I want that, that, and that, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of items that I want.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to the till, and we're just going to make it easy, and we're going to say like this, right? A lot of the people buy items because they can afford it because of the payment plan. It really helps for a lot of people.
Sure.
And how can you open up a pre-order? If you just simply went, okay, I'll take a pre-order, and you pay all of it in full, it's kind of like difficult. First of all, we don't like taking money up front. I really hate doing that, right? The second thing is, not that many people have that amount of money so easy to have that, right? The third thing is, in that aspect, how we try to figure out a way, how could we take a pre-order, but still let people have access to the website, FlexiPay and all that sort of stuff. And we came up with what we believe is quite a cool way to do it.
Right. So it's kind of like bringing the website to the con, in a sense.
Exactly.
The processes, right? So
yeah.
We want con goers, they might not have like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on them, but maybe they would still want to pre-order something, but still have the flexibility of a flexi payment plan.
Right.
Or they can still check out the items once they've gone home, or they back in their mind, they want all these items at the booth.
Yes.
But they want to sit back and rethink about it.
Right.
But at the same time, without losing what they've purchased at the con.
Right.
Right.
So imagine this scenario. You now have a checklist of 3 items. You go to the booth, you go to the till, and we are simply going to make it easy. Every single item, let's not talk about in-stock item, right? Any pre-order, you just simply pay 50 euros, okay? 50 euros. And we're going to say, with that 50 euros, which is worth $58 US, we are going to give you a pre-order pack. Now, what is in the pre-order pack? Well, inside the pre-order pack is going to be a Gamescom specific day sort of authenticity card, right? On there, it will be a code, and that code will actually give you $70 off. So you've actually got yourself from 50 euros, which is worth 58 US, you actually get a boosty of $12 to 70. So this code is now worth 70 bucks. It's on a card, right? You've given us 50 euros. You now have a card that says you can then apply it to you have a flyer that's inside your pack that says you can click on this. You enter in a password onto the website. You go onto the website. On there will be all the items that were available at Gamescom. You then go to the one that you wanted, right? Let's say it's Snake exclusive. You click on that. You have the choices of payment plan X, Y, and Z, right? Whatever it is. You then enter in your code, which you pay €50 for, and you get a $70 discount. You put your $70, you get your $70 discount, you pay your shipping, all that sort of stuff, and now you're in the system. The problem we always found was, how do we capture credit card information when you're placing? We were thinking of like, oh, you write what you want, you give us your name and address, and we're going to go back home, and we're going to like enter it all in, but then we can't get your credit card information. And actually Germans, correct me if I'm wrong, don't even use credit cards. Yes, we have PayPal as well, but at the point that you make the order complete on the website, you have to enter in something, either a credit card or a PayPal. We don't have that ability to do that when we come back home and try to enter it in. So, you know, being able to... no, Randy, we're not saying that we're not putting 1,000 points on the fly. We'll do that as well. That's something different. Regis, I'm not talking about Europe. Germans in particular do not use credit cards, is my understanding. Anyways... Well, the point being
we came up with this pack, right? Which means we don't have to worry about if they have a credit card.
Exactly.
We don't have to worry about if they have a PayPal. We don't have to worry about that. These guys could queue up, buy the pack. We're trying to be efficient here. Save all that time that they would have been standing in the queue. They could use that time to talk to us in the club, on the stand. Check out the products.
Talk to us in the club. Like, you're right there, but you want to talk to me.
Talk to us on the stand, on the booth.
Yeah.
Check out the products.
Yeah.
Think of it like, hey, you guys are gamers, all right? You guys go on the, you guys go to like your nearest convenience store and buy top-up cards.
Right. Exactly.
You guys, like it's kind of like the digital wallet kind of thing, right? So
Steam.
network cards, the Apple, top-up cards, the Nintendo top-up cards. It's kind of our version of a top-up card. So each of these top-up cards will have defaulted to a €50 credit.
So imagine you have a authenticity card that goes in here. You have one of these, for example, that goes in there. You have a we talked about something else possibly going in there.
That's not been finalized. But
something else that goes in there, and the sort of FAQ on what the fuck to do with the card. But that's kind of almost part of the card in terms of that. Yeah.
Part of the card.
And then that's your €50, and off you go. Then you have the access to the site, log into the password. And you do it at your own time, you're leisurely, all of a sudden you spent €50 to get the little bit of extra swag, plus it's worth $70 on the website, and all of a sudden we don't care about do you have a credit card, a PayPal, all of that sort of stuff. You enter that information, you let us know what because can you imagine, like, people are writing their email, their addresses, and we can't read it properly, and then all of a sudden it goes to 224 instead of 228 or whatever, and then all those sort of issues. So that really is going to be boom, 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 efficient, in and out, and we're really going to be able to come back and go, you know what, we've sold this many packs, and that's going to really go, oh, you know what, that can really allow for people to go on those flexi-pay plans and allow for them to, where they might not be able to.
Hey Randy, you said, is this coupon for a specific statue? The answer is no. Basically, let's say you like Alex said, he liked Snake when he was at the show.
Yeah.
But once he got the pack, once he goes home and looks at the website, and maybe I don't like that particular Snake. Maybe I want something else that I saw at the booth. So it's, it's universal.
Right.
So you're not buying to that statue. That code is not buying to that particular product.
Absolutely. And likewise, when it comes to in-stock stuff, it's very, very slightly different. Of course, you pay the money for it, and then you get a little pack just to say thank you.
Everyone understands it, right?
But no card, obviously, and then you get your product and off you go.
It's like, guys, like you if you download digital games and you run out of credits, you go on Amazon and buy a credit, or you go to the shop and buy a credit. You top that up into your system, and you can spend that credit on anything. You can spend it on some, indie games, or you spend it on a big title game. So that credit is universal, and it's universal across all the products that we have on the booth. So if you're a gamer, you know the system. It's like a scratch card. You scratch it, you put in the code in the account that you created on our website, and done. We save a lot of time.
Yeah.
and we don't have to go through the hassles of do you have a credit card or PayPal.
And you guys have been really sharp in noticing that it absolutely avoids privacy issues. Like, oh, we write that shit down, and like someone comes along and peekaboos in us, like, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah,
You
or
know?
or Jeff like just walks off with it and then like end up somewhere else. Or
Yeah, you're like, yeah. Can you imagine, right? People are like, oh yeah, and then we like lose the fucking forms.
we lose the whole thing, right? And then we're like, shit, these guys just paid us money and like,
we don't know what the hell they wanted.
Yeah, who has that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we really worked hard this week to figure that out. And if that really works,
And if someone steals this idea, we're on you.
hey, let's just say we're F4F. We do our own thing. We do our own thing. We don't do the normal way. And the great thing, of course, is as we said before, we couldn't do a reservation into pre-order thing. And now that we have that, we have the ability to take pre-orders on items that aren't even on the website. So the beautiful thing will be when we do the latest PVC SD, people at the Gamescom see it in the flesh, they buy it, they pre-order it. They have their code ready, etc., etc. They then go and place their order for it online, but you guys can't see it because you didn't have the password to get onto the site. Now, before you get excited, oh, just share the password. No, it's one-time use passwords that just basically, as long as you don't clear your cookies, you have the ability to go into it and do it.
Mark, that is not right. It's not you can buy an SD for like $80 US. It's the credit, the card, right? The top up card
is worth 70. So you pay the difference, of course. So if you talk about Snake. Spike, Snake.
Be careful what you say.
Yeah. Well, you know, let's say you have, it's whatever it is. Of course, it's the remaining amount at the end, which you just pay yourself, however you want to do it. Nice one, Eugene. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like, what about this and what about that, and like, why don't we bring tablets and why don't we print out forms and all that stuff? It's all like,
right. This is like easy peasy, lemon squeezy, in, out. Hopefully, of course, you know, we have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Ask us again the week after. We go, oh my god, what a terrible idea that was. But we sort of, how can we take advantage of the fact that people really need to use FlexiPays quite often? And how do we avoid the fact that we can't even offline place the orders for them if we can't physically complete the order without a means of payment? So, hey, that's what happens when we think about it for about 6 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Replying to Randy, every con has exclusives. We don't really do exclusive stuff, do we?
No.
In terms of for cons, well, we haven't been to enough cons to even think about if that's something that we would do. But the only sort of thing would be, I guess, sticking the Gamescom card, I guess, would be only sort of memento plus some other stuff as well.
If it's a yearly thing, then yeah, maybe something yearly that goes into that little pack. That F4F, I don't know, how do you call it? A fun pack?
Oh, here you go, Mark MAD. Yeah, but the SD is $100. So if I buy the packet for no, it's not $50, mate. It's €50. 50 euros. 50 euros is $58 US, and it's giving you a boosty to 70. So I guess that's So it's not
I guess
quite,
that's kind of I mean, like the guys. Yeah. I mean, this is really for the con itself.
It's also just basically dealing with euros into dollars. We don't take euros. So we're gonna get a stack of 50 euro notes and just be like, oh, I guess it's bloody some Berliner Wasser tonight or something like that. Yeah. But the main thing is that those, of course, are non-refundable. It's obviously it's your card.
Same rules apply.
Yeah, same rules apply. You get your discount. It's just basically where you enter in the coupon code area, just to put it down there. Hey Kevin, yeah, they're only going to be available in person for Gamescom. Whether or not we start offering out gift cards later on, that's something that we could sort of look into. Let's see how Gamescom goes first, because we've never done it before. Let's see what's going on. All right, guys, let's keep on going. So again, thank you so much for allowing us to take those pre-orders. And now that you allowed us to do it, we came up with this solution with which to hopefully move the line in a way that is efficient, because that's what we're kind of about, efficiency, kind of.
We hope.
3 PVCs will debut at Gamescom if everything goes according to plan. RTSD, RTSD.
I didn't write that.
I know. Miguel is coming along, and that's at its final stage. That's going out from the factory pretty soon. Crystal Dragon. We have made, quite frankly, the most smallest change, but we had to reprint the tail and rework it in 3D. And it wasn't even something that people were really screaming for, but we wanted to be as accurate as we could be. And that was the tail, the tip of the tail. Do we have the silver one here still, the mini one?
Small one.
Yeah. Is it on Charles's desk? Not to worry if it's not there. Mayo? Alright, that's like our own mini one. Yeah.
Early days.
This was like one of the earlier prototypes, but you can still see the idea, right? We do this we have our own internal printer just to sort of see the sizing and mock that up. So this is one of the earlier stuff. It's like, you know, just some not the good quality ones that we do for production. Anyways, you can see here that the tail tip goes outwards. So all we simply did was move this tail out just a little bit and then curl it back in. So this point goes in. Literally just that. Man, we had to completely reprint the bottom of the tail, but I knew you guys would appreciate that. Even though you guys weren't actually pushing for it, just internally we felt like we should do what we can when we can. So, you know, some of the changes that we make, we don't ask you guys, it's not because you guys are screaming about it, it's because we wanted to do it. Christopher Alves, gift cards. Everyone in my family will get subtle sledgehammer type hints on what to buy me for every occasion. I appreciate the support there. Yeah, Lauren, you know, look what Lauren says. I don't like exclusive models or that kind of thing at cons, and you're very much like that as well, aren't you?
Depends on what particular item and how.
It's very anti-us. I mean, it's not really.
I can understand like if some guys have exclusive at the cons, try and make it available for others or whatever it is. I mean,
right.
There's got to be a balance.
But then it's not exclusive to the cons then. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yep. Next, Spyro Wing by Wing, Solid Snake ammo boxes. A lot of sort of. I just did a bunch of video updates just in terms of production. That's sort of coming along nicely. Sif replacements are coming along. Varia suit, you know, crashes hidden holes. You know, just in case you didn't know what that was about. Every piece that has some hollowness to it, it's not fully cast, solid cast. You need to have an area of holes to allow for the to allow for gases to escape. That if you don't, can warp your in heat, can heat up and expand and then actually lead to cracking and blowing up. So every single thing needs to have a little bit of a puncture on it, and we're just showing you where we're doing it for Crash. So 3 teehees this week. The first one was something brown and furry. This is what Miguel's writing, right? Yeah. Number 2 is never gonna get it. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. You guys are never gonna get that one. And the last one was a picture of some hair. Did you guys know what there were 1, 2, and 3? Let us know in the comments if you figured out any of those teehees. And then I wanted to address something that I wrote yesterday, I think. I went to another club and I posted something and it said,
thanks, Nathan.
Waiting for... Hey, Nathan, much appreciated. So, waiting for approval. The admins of that group needed to approve my post before it would get posted. Now, I was like, what is the first thing, right? The second thing is, I then asked you guys, have you ever experienced that before? Is that something that, what is your impression of it? What do you like about it? What are I can see some pros and cons to it based on our own club itself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were pretty negative against it, and that's cool. You know, they're negative against it. I just wanted to understand. For me, it wasn't. I had no plans, but of course, if everyone was overwhelmingly, oh yes, please do it, then of course, hey, this is your club as much as it is our club. So if everyone in the club was like, yeah, make it admin approved only, then we'd have another conversation. I never had any intention to do that. Most of the comments back were pretty much like no. Yeah. Some people were like, oh yes, that's what the sort
when
of.
That happens, when that happens to me, I just give up on it. Like, you know, I spent the time to write the post, and if I post it and it goes, oh, yeah, it's been reviewed or whatever it is, I don't go back and like look for the post that I made, because it's sort of like, I don't know when you're gonna approve it.
Right.
Yeah, because
you get notifications, but you know what? Our notifications are like,
but I usually
our notifications go instantly.
I usually post it and I want some like instant feedback.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're too spoiled by the OCC. Instant feedback.
Instant feedback. I want it now.
No, it's normally like I put something and go, oh shit. That's the instant feedback. So, you know, definitely I personally am not a fan of it. I was a bit shocked that I had to get my stuff approved, because obviously I'm so used to, I didn't realize that was such a thing. Now I can understand a lot of people who said that it was normal for, was more about buying and selling threads. I totally understand that. Totally makes more sense to make sure that they're on point, they're following rules and what have you. Totally understand that, especially if you can think that someone's trying to scam when it comes with money. Who knows? So that's definitely something that I can totally understand. More applicable for. I also think that if we were to have a admin approval thing, the pro would be a lot of some of the what other people might consider to be quite tedious posts would not be as much. But also, we're all about helping, and if people were asking questions like, hey, how do I do this, it's so amazingly nice and refreshing to see that people are doing that. Right. You know, helping out. And one of the things, again, shout out to the admins and shout out to the whole team and to the community. Our community is actually really nice. There is a cultivated sort of the attitude of the club members has been shaped in a way that, you know, shit doesn't fly, and within reason, right? And it's about fun, it's about that, but it's also being respectful to people. A lot of people will say in their clubs, "Oh, be respectful to you," and it easily goes into really diverges from that. And I'm really happy that it's not like that with our club. So happy for that, and as a result, I don't think it's necessary. Where you have people that are doing shit posting or that sort of stuff, okay, then right, that's a different conversation. But the OCC, the attitude, the whole thing like that, it's really, really good. And it's so the answer is no, I don't think we would do it unless you guys overwhelmingly said, yeah, we want to see that. But from that initial post, I don't see anybody seeing that. I don't see, if I was finding it quite even, I might sort of run a poll on it, but there's no point. I felt quite unanimously that most people did not like that. Even the, for sure. Definitely, Lauren, the OCC is very awesome. It's a great community, really great community. Okay, Chocks, over to you. That is the week in review.
All right.
Also, top countries. Whoop, whoop. Shout out if you, all of the top. This weekend, I'm going to do, are you a boy? Are you a girl? Or are you, did you even assume my gender option? And I'll show it to you guys what it is in the club. The breakdown of that.
Alright then. Alright, I don't know why they're here yet, because they're not even on there yet. But
hey Becky, what issues do you have? And Jamie, actually the only reason why I said I would never ever, Jamie Bailey threatened that if we were to do that, what? He would never post any of his Photoshop's edits again. And as soon as I saw that, I said, you guys, we're never going to go to admin approved if Jamie will not post his stuff again. So, Jamie, the OCC thanks you for never ever going to admin approved on posts. It won't send me the link to authenticate my account. Check your spam, please, Becky, if you're talking about setting up your first item, your first account. Cedric, aren't you usually the one who normally writes like 20 questions on that? Right, Eric? Right, Eric? Totally agree. An active community where most of the people are really awesome with each other. Yes, there's some headbutting every now and then, but it gets resolved very, very quickly. Love it. What an amazing community. Chocks, over to you.
Becky said she's checked it so many times.
Let me have a look. Over to you, Chocks.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so...
Did you just set it up, Becky?
After tonight's stream, there will be a blog post with regards to Spike. So that will go on the website, and that will be shared out on the Facebook platform as well. That will highlight the FAQs, how to pre-order, how to validate. So keep an eye out for that as well. And hopefully over the weekend, there will be another blog with regards to ACG Hong Kong. So that is currently being written up. That will highlight what's going to happen for ACG, because that's going to happen next Friday. We'll go into more details of that in the blog later.
1 second. We have Joshua on the stream, right? He's asking for some help. Joshua Maria. Now let me just say, Joshua, he says he saw the Spike and he's come to here. He wants to understand how to order it. And thank you so much for your support.
Okay.
We'll be giving all the information about the sizing, the pricing, and how to order it towards the end of the stream. But just for your reference, just jump on our website, firstoftickets.com, set up for an account, and you're going to have tons of time to go and order during the reservation period, which is 3 or 4 days, to come back on validation Tuesdays. This is going to mean nothing to you right now. Make sure you join the club and you can ask, and anybody will tell you what that means. And let us know how you get on. But yeah, don't worry about it. You will not miss out. Spike will be open for over a month, or a month, perhaps longer, in terms of ordering. So don't worry about that. So go ahead, Chocks.
What's Ronald talking about? Hi guys, last Q&A in 3 weeks for me. I'll be heading off to Scotland. You can still watch the Q&A in Scotland.
Becky, I don't see that you've set up an account. Unless it's a different name. PM me. If you've used a different email address, if you want me to look you up to see if you've done one. Sorry, Chocks, over to you.
No, it's alright.
It's me or you? It's you.
I know.
Oh, so
I don't know. I'm waiting for a reply from Becky, maybe.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm doing that. She's gonna PM me.
I don't know. I was like, I'd get interrupted.
Sorry.
Alright, guys. Temptation Thursdays. Wow. Temptation Thursdays. TT 110 Hollow Knight from Hollow Knight indie game that currently stands at 279 votes.
Is there anything here you need to talk about?
I've already said it.
Oh, okay.
Right, 279 votes and 203 said yes, 76 said no. So currently, percentage wise, a lot of people said yes. 72% said yes, 27% said no, but it needs more votes, guys. So if you want to rally for Hollow Knight, make sure you get the fans to jump on board. And this week's TT111,
The main page, okay.
111. Currently, we only have 101 votes. Wow. 24 votes said yes and 77 said no.
Surprised?
Not surprised. I'm surprised that the overall votes is low. Is it because
It's PC.
maybe it's PC, or maybe guys are not getting the TT?
45 inboxes over here, Chocks. Alright, thank you. Hello, Becky. I've seen you emailed the main page. Thank you very much.
What?
Just PM that main
How many
page.
inbox? What?
I'm gonna look her up.
Yeah, I'm looking at the inbox.
45 messages. Are they like coming in all the time?
That's not wrong. That's not right.
45. Yeah. What?
I just look at the stars. Don't delete my stars.
I ain't touching your stars,
Yeah,
yo.
the others, that's
Someone else.
it's not important. The others.
It's not important,
It's not
mate.
important.
It's not important.
I check these every single day.
You're right, Becky. It says you've never logged in. You've never logged in. Why is that? Becky, how about you try it again? I just delete your ass and then you try it again. How about that? Will you be cool with that? Seeing as you've not done anything, it says you're not even logged in before. So
does she need to like when she creates a new email address, she needs to like verify it?
Yeah, I guess she said never confirmed.
Right, so she couldn't verify it because she probably never received the email, maybe?
Just make sure she's cool with that. Just delete that.
She said okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, sweet.
Try a different email address, Becky, maybe.
Well, if I just deleted it, innit?
Maybe it's that email address that's been, bouncing.
Hold on, let me just make sure that she has been deleted from the F4F ether. Nope, she's still there. Boom! And just like that, Becky. Try it out now. See whether or not you can create a new account. Very strange. Let us know how you go on. Alright, Chocks. Done the Temptation Thursdays?
May I continue now?
Sorry.
I told you, it's like, might as well carry on and finish it off.
No.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, that's her only email.
F4F Live CS.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Alright. That's done for TT. Next week's code, gas.
Geese.
Gas.
Geese. How do you think? Oh, that means we've done 3 weeks. We've got 2 more weeks to go. What do you guys want to see? Is it time to like announce what we're going to be doing for the next 2?
Haven't chosen yet.
What do you guys want to see for the TTs? Today's hashtag is F4F. I see what you see there, Kana. What do you guys want to see in the TT? Let us know in the comments. What do you want to see? Hey, Isaias. Cassie B in the house. What do you think, Chocks? Hollow Knight did alright for Hollow Knight it did alright for certainly for an indie, right?
Percentage-wise,
but not enough not enough, right? Like in terms of activity on it.
right?
Nice one, Becky. I appreciate that.
Sorted.
So it did alright in terms of percentages, but the numbers weren't there. So, you know, if you're thinking about Binding of Isaac or Super Meat Boy and all that sort of stuff, it's probably not gonna.
Hard to say. Every IP has their own fan base.
Perfect Dark, something rare. That'd be low-hanging fruit if you guys were up for that. We didn't do her, did we? Well, she was part of the rare poll, right?
So it's interesting how there's not many activity for this week's TT.
Right. What's the numbers?
The number's 101 votes.
That's quite low.
That is low. Because usually you would expect
Co-op.
tons of no's.
Detroit Become Human. What was that thing called? Like that was done by Obsidian, and it was going to be like an amazing thing RPG, but it became vaporware. And when it came out, it was rubbish. Or was it rubbish? Or it didn't come out. Something like Human or something. Can't remember what it was. Was it Obsidian? Hey, Chocks.
What?
I've learned a new word today, right? Can you help me with the pronunciation, right? L-O-S-E-R.
Right.
How do you pronounce that word?
Loser.
L-O-S-E-R is pronounced loser. I'm pretty sure when I looked it up today, L-O-S-E-R is pronounced Alex Pachulia. I'm pretty sure that's how L-O-S-E-R is pronounced Alex Pachulia. Who that? You're never gonna do it, never gonna do it. Never gonna do it, never.
One of these days it's gonna backfire. Right?
They can wish they're never gonna do it. L-O-S-E-R, I looked it up. Alex Pachulia. I don't know how you pronounce it. Very differently.
Nothing to say to that.
Never
Right.
gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Too human. That's what it was. Too human.
Too human. That's where you shoot aliens, right?
Is Detroit being human, or it was just too human, wasn't it? It's like Silicon Knights. That's what it was. I think Spectral Knights. Or something
Action
like that.
role playing game.
Yeah, too human.
I was thinking the other.
Hey, Jake. Jake's in the house. Nice one, because I've been telling everybody we can't launch anything about Spike until you get in, mate. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna announce the next CTs. We're gonna do that next week.
Do that next week.
We'll do that next week. All right, then, guys.
Increase
We're
that
gonna keep
list.
it. All right, then let's do it.
Hashtag winner for last week. Hashtag F4F Spike.
We're gonna announce the names on that.
Yes, last week, I believe 3 winners.
All right, here we go, guys. Do you have the letters? There are double J's, an O, an H, a V, an A. Let us know in the comments. Do you have a double? Are there anybody who has the letters J, double J, O, V, and A? One of those. If you've got mixtures of those in your name, you are in it with it for a chance to win 500 war points. It's been awarded at random.
What?
I knew that was coming. That makes sense. I knew that was coming. Good sport as always, Petulia. Love it. All right, here we go. Jean-Philippe Vanier, congratulations. Next we have Jesse Herrera, congratulations to you as well. And last but not least, Olivander Augustus Abercrombie. Totally report that to Facebook for a fake name. Congratulations. Congratulations. We'll do it again. Oh, nice one, Victoria. Tell him, yo, that is those people off the top of my head. Jean-Philippe Vanier. That's off the top of my head because Chocks is taking that page off. The other one is Jesse Herrera and Olivander Augustus Abercrombie. Nice one, guys. This week's hashtag. What's up, Morales? This week's hashtag is F4F Cowboy for a chance to win 500 reward points. Hashtag F4F Cowboy for a chance to win 500 reward points chosen at random.
Alright, guys, the hashtag's been pinned in the comments, so make sure you spelt that correctly.
And it's time for the Q&A, I believe, yeah?
King of the Ring.
Oh, yes. Yes, that one. No Nana say here.
No Nana say. Alright, guys, so King of the Ring, it was meant to be posted on Wednesday, but fortunately instead it was posted on Thursday, but it will still get a week's worth of attention to that. For last week's match, number 7, that was Skull Kid versus Fighter Kirby, and that is 199 for Fighter Kirby versus 761 to Skull Kid, so Skull Kid takes that round. And for this week's match, number 8, that is Item 2 Mega Man versus TP Link PVC. Shall we see what that currently stands? And that will be the last match for round 1. Because from next week onwards, we will have
Them all sequential or something like that, right?
all round 2.
Just all in one go, yeah?
Yeah, there'll be 4 polls.
Yeah, sweet.
There'll be 4 polls for round 2 from next week onwards. So basically the whole tournament should end in 3 weeks' time.
Right.
Yeah, give or take. Hello, front page. Please load. Alright, front page. Let's see what's the current standings for the poll. The poll.
The popo.
Right, I am going to vote. Oh, that one. See, currently, Item 2 Mega Man is at 18% versus 82% for TP Link. 676 votes in total, and that is split between, wow, 552 for TP Link and 124 for Item 2. So looks like at this rate, TP Link is going to win the last match of round 1.
Yep. Looks like it. What? Why don't you never find your... Oh, here it is. It's right there. You always do F4F. You always say F and F.
Yes, but now I can just put it in the announcement. So if you just click on the announcements, it will be at the top in there.
Nice.
Of course.
Smooth.
This
like
face here, look.
Mate, before the Q&A, you know the rules.
What rules?
Review of the month. The review of the week.
Huh?
You know, what shit is Chocks eating this week?
Yeah.
Is that during the Q&A or before the Q&A starts?
What?
It's like a section of the show. Depends on how hungry you are.
Random.
Yeah? It depends on how hungry you are. Yeah.
Depends. I'll probably start when you start your Q&A because
Yeah,
I'll be like, I need to munch on something.
Yeah, that's fair dues. That's fair dues.
That's right, guys. F4F Cowboy for the chance to win 500 reward points.
Random question, Eric says, but have you guys and gaming heads ever considered doing some collab work? Well, let me just say something. As you know, Eric, or maybe you don't know, I'm sure you probably do now, certainly at the BNS group, I co-founded that back in 2009, and I left in 2016. There was, and Celine will remind me all the time, the briefest moment that we were going to merge, because of course, it was getting tough for me to be wearing both the gaming heads hat and the First of Figures hat, and there was a talks of actually merging, but ultimately that didn't happen. But yeah, so the answer is we are very close to each other. You know, obviously, I still know the guys over there very, very well, and you know, in terms of possible collab, you know, maybe in the future, who knows? We could you know, do a partnerships, something like that. But in terms of yeah, something like that, I guess. Something like that for the future. It would make sense. Paul Fox. We want snacks!
We want snacks.
We want snacks. Alright, we're going to kick it off. Right, Chocks, anything for me? I'm going to kick it off, yeah?
That's all yours now.
Alright, sweet. Matthew Goggins.
Right, stop first. Like before, right, Q&A. We're halfway through the Q&A right now. So once the Q&A is done, then we'll start doing the spike launch, because there'll be no who dat during reservation weeks. So this week there would be 2 potential winners that will be pushed to next week's who dat. So next week there will be 4 members up for chance to win some reward points during the who dat.
Daniel, I strongly recommend your girlfriend goes for the exclusive version on the waitlist. It's very likely it will be converted, especially because we will be opening it up for Gamescom. One of the things that I still haven't 100% decided on, and I need your feedback on that, is when we go to Gamescom and we take pre-orders, what happens to the wait lists? Do they get converted? I still don't know 100% what happens with that. Most people are pushing for that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still in the air about that, but still, it's quite early on, and still for snakes that you can still jump in on that. I would have thought.
Ay.
Holy shit, Edgar, are you serious right now?
What's the craze lately? Everyone's with the Octopath Traveler lately. You guys are enjoying that?
Hades says, who dat revenge. Alex Pachuda, I would love to keep playing who dat with you, but you take like 2 minutes to answer by what hand it's in.
Yeah. Everyone knows before you know.
It's delayed. It's delayed. No, he's like running some algorithm. It's like a facial recognition thing. Oh, it's delayed, right? A facial recognition to see whose face looks guilty with who holding the bloody thing. That's the only reason why he got so far on the line. So there's a glitch at the last bit. Because I gave you the coin, right? I gave you the coin to do the last one, right? And the machine wasn't calibrated for that.
The machine wasn't calibrated?
Yeah.
Because it calibrated the last 78 episodes just to get that.
No, because he started using it this week, right? Because he figured he keeps jumping in on these. He keeps jumping in on these Whodats. He keeps getting into it. He's like probably the #1 most active player on Whodat, because he keeps seeing whenever you start typing shit that he completely like chooses whatever somebody else has already. Like, he doesn't even know what the characters are.
I'll be like that.
yeah, the whole time. That's right. That's what you should be doing. Then he'd be like, oh damn, my algorithm. It's like, Edgar, for God's sake, he's got like 20 questions.
Really?
Yes. You serious right now?
Oh God.
Right. Let's do it. Matthew Goggins, hi, how you guys doing? I'm doing well. Chocks, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Nice
thanks.
one. Did you get plenty of Red Bull today, Chocks?
I've got 2 cans tonight.
Boom.
Wow.
Anything earlier today though?
Sorry?
So just those 2 for the day, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, sweet. Edgar Ramirez. If the Bebop line is successful, will we rally the fans? Will we see Vicious and Swordship? Absolutely rally the fans. We'll see what's up. How hard do you have to rally to get a life-size iron statue? I can get you one pretty easily. You don't need to rally too hard. Just know that you have to take it for walks. Clean his butt. Or his butt. And they'll be walking around a lot. First for pets. 3. Is the Worms line dead? Deader than a doormat. Deader than a dodo, mate. No one rallied for that one. Number 4. There probably won't be a Meta Knight 2 in the future, will there be? No plans right just yet. But hey, Warp Star Kirby's next. Fighter Kirby sales were not where we needed to be. Warp Star Kirby was rallied by the fans when we did a TT on that. I'm going to go back and look up every single person.
Paul Fox, Mr. Fox. This is your first stream, so some of the stuff that we're talking about is like second language to you. Yeah. But hopefully you'll pick up really soon, really quick soon.
Yeah,
join
absolutely.
the club, join the Collectors Club, and
Hunter, we see you. We see you. Hey Chan, no plans. Hey, I would love to do Mononoke. Unfortunately, that's not something that's available to us at this moment. So, you know, Warp Star is coming up the line soon. And I just did a lovely photo today. Ting took a beautiful photo of the 3 in the 3. Warp Star lines up beautifully with that. We'll show you guys later, well, of course, when it's Warp Star's turn. What a beautiful setup. You know, so Fighter Kirby sales were not where it needed to be. We're really hoping that Warp Star does that. And if all of a sudden, we're hoping that Warp Star will be the equivalent to the Sonic line that 25th was for Sonic. And of course, since then, 25th is getting, you know, the Sonic line is getting this, getting that, and this. So, you know, there could have been a possibility that it was getting nothing. Number 5. If I sent you my future Saitama, could you add the little cool sketch marks like with Mugen? Oh, right. You know, that's something that we've evolved in doing. You're right. But what I can strongly recommend you do is you get a little pen and go just like that. Just make sure you do it straight. Do them in the creases. Ed Plush when? That would be sweet. But we gotta put, I think Plush is something I'm gonna focus in on next year. Now that PVCs, there's a ton of PVCs coming down the line, Chocks, and that's because this year was all about focusing on that next pillar. Let's do it, Plush. Especially if we're gonna be doing cons. Can you guys end this week, as well as the making of, by pointing at the screen and going, bang? I like it, mate. Let's try that. End of the stream.
yeah.
See you next week, Space Cowboys. Bang. Let's do it. 8. Why is the waiting list between Saitama and Genos being so long? The reason is Saitama's sales didn't set the world on fire. It was actually quite, well, let's just say we didn't know what we were going to get. It was not on the right side of what we wanted, and we figured that the longer we leave it, the more chance there is more anime fans to get to know us first. That's the point. Like, because, you know, Edgar, did you know who we were? The answer was, back when we did Saitama, the answer is you didn't know who we were. You do now. So you would be a potential person to buy Genos, right? But you wouldn't, if we'd done Genos right afterwards, you know, that's the point. We need there to be more people to know who we are in the anime space, when we found that there wasn't the demand that we expected at the beginning, simply because no one knew that we were doing it. So Saitama was always going to have a hard crack. It was always going to be difficult for it.
It's the first one.
Right.
It's the first one, then you know, it's a catch-22. You can't grab the fans in until you have something out there.
Yeah. For being late on his Q&A recap last week, have you guys given the Bede a slap on the wrist? The Bede gave himself a slap, so, you know, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm assuming Dabs will be busy tonight, this weekend.
Because of SDCC.
Because it'd be covering that. So guys, show him the support. Make sure he gets the support, and hopefully he'll have the Q&A for you guys, the recap.
Yeah. Should we leave Saitama open again, like reopen the orders? The answer is we'll get garroted for doing that. We've got to stick to the guns like that. We won't increase the edition sizes once they've been done. In terms of, that's going a bridge too far. We have to suck in, unfortunately that's just the way it is.
That's the way it is, dude. You know that song.
10. Are variations a possibility of the Bebop crew? Could we get a spec with his trench coat on, etc.? Possibly. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's nothing more than what you see is what you get for Spike. I want to let you you guys know that now, right? People have already figured out what the exclusive is. It's sort of already out there. But the point is, we're a little bit gun shy. We want to see how the sales are. If that means that, hey, they go unexpectedly more than we expected, we could talk about doing some other stuff. So Chocks, by the way, it's over 150. All right, so that's 4 lucky winners. So I just want to taper the expectations for now. Just if you guys are excited and you're there to support, we will be supporting you. Everything that you support us, we will support you right back. Simple as that.
Yeah, tonight's the night.
Alfonso Ulrich, well known for being the most expensive FFPs. Any plans to extend the payment plan for him, 14 months or such? There's a reason why. I don't know why we don't go more than... I need to double check if there's a reason why we can't go 14. Maybe. Need to see. Anything to say regards the modern Sonic line? Not just yet. Concentrating on some other things right now. Oh no. Amy's being in the works. What am I talking about? Which statues would be the most fun to develop? The next best one in the works, mate. Always. Bebop hexagonal base note, they are round. Do you feel overwhelmed by people who ask a lot of questions? Nah, mate. Only 20? Pathetic. 40 next time. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Don't do it. Which statue would you see being the least fun to develop? No, I'm not going to go there. If we get to that point, will there be any variations beside Ornate Plague Knight? Ornate for Plague Knight, Spectre Knight? The answer is we will do lots of variations for those guys if you guys want to do it. College or F4F? The answer is college always comes first, mate. We will still be around when you're done with it. Don't worry, mate.
Oh, that's a statement, isn't it? When you will be done with it. Like, how are you going to be in college?
Assuming it's not going to be more than the usual. We'll still be around.
Maybe he's the type that loves to go to college. Like, I got my first degree, then got my master's, then got my second PhD, then third. There's people that likes to go back to college all the time.
True. Then we just have to stay in business then.
Why not both? It's like first of colleges.
Why don't you go to the school of F4F colleges, you mean? Yeah.
How to make statues.
I'm currently trying to buy pieces that have colourful stars to them, so that no statue I own looks out of place. Would you say that Alphonse is going to be closer to the realism of Guts or the vibrant look of Mugen or Santana, or right in between? Too far. Too far. Too much to give away there. Which statue is the longest time from PO to release? Which one has had the least? The quickest one has got to be something like... maybe Crash. That's quite fast. And in terms of longest, it's got to be Light Suit, probably. Although... maybe a Varia suit, I would say as well. Salim, Desha, are you doing any Batman figures? The answer is nope. Junior, Giovanni Comorio, how far away is Mimic now? We said Q3. We're still looking at Q3, possibly late early Q4. Can we get the 7 Deadly Sins TT soon, Chocks? Is that on your list? 3. Why didn't you send anything to SDCC? To who? To what? The only people that would be... we only have one distributor in the States, and that is PBM Express. They don't have a stand there. So what? Who to send it to who? What? Why? How? Where? What?
Well, like
have we ever tried to get our own booth there? The answer is we tried. We can't get it. We tried for many, many years, but...
we've got the PVCs at the Dark Horse.
Yeah, we tried to get SDCC booths before NYCC. Back in the day, they said no chance. It's like a waiting list of like 10 years. The only way that you get in is if some company dies, basically. So that was never going to be the case. But I'm glad that we didn't do SDCC instead of NYCC or whatever it was. The point being that we had to have learned some stuff, and we've learned that now. Any updates to the changes of Guts? Nothing to report just yet. It's still in progress. There's a lot of you guys asked for a lot of changes, and it takes a bit of time. It wasn't actually just a small change. It was quite a lot of changes. Who's your favorite Berserk character aside from Guts? You know, they're all very interesting. It's hard to sort of say. It's also looking. I don't know whether or not it's my influence of what we're working on really influences the love of the character. Like, if I see that the character, the way it sort of like gels together, and I'm like, that's really tight, makes me like it more. It's kind of a little bit hard to separate it directly. Chocks, go.
What?
Your snack review. What you're eating in your snack review.
This is from Taiwan. It's called bamboo charcoal peanut. And,
is it black?
That's the packaging. It's from Taiwan. Yeah, bamboo charcoal, and they look like it is black. They look like rabbit droppings. No, they do.
Do they taste like rabbit droppings?
No, they're like peanut. Yeah, you try one. Yeah, have that last one.
Thanks for the peanut. Thanks for the poo-poo dropping.
You just bamboo charcoal.
I taste the bamboo, and I taste the charcoal, and I
the
taste the peanut.
Yeah,
exactly what it says on the box, on the package.
On the package.
Yeah.
Nice. Actually,
A
it's
little bit
alright.
creamy as well. Yeah.
Yes, not bad.
Yeah. You said last week you would make a Luigi to gauge interest between regular mansion. Just a reminder. Thanks, Giovanni. I appreciate that. All right, we got shout-outs. That's early this time, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Keep them on the tones, yeah?
Yeah.
Shout out to Matthew Goggans. What's going on? Michael Lie in the house.
Hold on. You clicked on the wrong image.
Oh my.
That's not me. Nah, that's the right one.
I'm still alright. Still alright, yeah.
Because it.
Yeah.
Make sure you read.
It's got to be at least 2 hearts, yeah.
Make sure it's
got to be.
my loves.
I can't tell that. Oh yeah.
Because I posted that from my screen.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, nice. Carrying on with Edgar Ramirez. Shout out to Giovanni Cormorio, Britt Edwards. What's going on, mate? Michael Pilot in the house. We got Salim Desha. How's it going? Junior Guzman. Adam Elgamal. What's going on, mate? And Saf. Samuel Blaise Garcia. When are you going to get your own account back? Britt Edwards. Sadly, I've been missing the stream. Look forward to you making that catch, seeing the recap. Adam Elgamal, any Yakuza updates? Yeah, just working on that head. Any Phoenix Wright updates? We submitted something, got some feedback, and submitted it again today. If you reopen pre-orders during Gamescom, does that mean people on the waitlist of these statues get converted? Again, not sure. Leaning towards yes, leaning towards no. I really don't know. Maybe that's something we can have a conversation about. Number 4. Any update on the mini Dragon packs of Jiggies and the musical notes? And nothing to update just yet, but leaning towards doing it. So by the look of things, is every other week going to be a new pre-order for the rest of 2018? If we had our say, the answer is yes, but there are some things. It's been pretty tough. We had a kind of a coasty month, and now it's back to like, shit. It's not falling into place, and it's a little bit like last minute, unfortunately.
What?
In terms of the whole idea of every 2 weeks, we had it kind of.
That worked, didn't it?
It lasted. It was like that for like 2 launches, and now like. The last ones have been pretty tough, and a lot of things have got to fall into place for them.
Bloody spanners everywhere.
Unbelievable. But
we keep on going on.
Keep on going. Any news of Midden and Wolfling PVC? Absolutely nothing to talk about for that.
That PVC.
Oh, that was last week, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was last week, yo.
So, yeah. Nothing to say. There's no plans for that right now.
You try that?
Go on.
You got a sore throat. You should drink something after this. Spicy peanut again from Taiwan. This time in a red little packet.
You're not usually a spicy man.
I like a bit of spicy, but not too much where it burns your tongue and mouth and
Burns your tongue and mouth, mate. It's more about the next day when you take a dump. When you take a dump and it basically your asshole bloody stings. Oh, cheers. Let's go.
All right, so in there's actual red chilies.
Oh, Chocks, that's quite spicy. You're not gonna like it.
There's red chilies, and these peanuts are like split in half.
I love it. You're not gonna like it.
The black peanuts before, they weren't burnt. They were coated with black powder.
You are not gonna like that. You are not gonna like that.
It doesn't smell that strong.
I know exactly what it
is. It really that
like.
spicy?
I love it. You are not gonna like that. You're gonna think that's too strong. Pass them over. That's too strong.
That's alright. I can manage it.
Right now you can. You haven't got the 5-minute aftertaste yet. Pass it over.
It's alright. No, you want it? Go on then. I know you want it.
Well, I've got my own one over here.
You can finish. Well, you can have that later. You can have that over the weekend.
All
That's
right.
it. I want to go two.
If you want it, but do you not find it's a little bit spicy for you? I figured it's
I'm sure alright.
Well, then you have it then.
No,
I've got my own one here, innit?
Yeah, have it, yeah.
I'm not going to call you a puss if you can't eat it.
I know you want it.
Oh, mate.
It's actually alright. Again.
But it's spicy the normal. Like, normally, spicy ones are like, whatever. This is actually really like, legit spicy.
No, the thing is, I like it spicy, but it also has the flavour as well.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not just
definitely.
like hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I think if you went through the whole pack, it'll get progressively spicier.
Spicier.
As in, because like,
but then again, I didn't eat the red chili.
No, I didn't eat the red chili either.
I just ate the nuts.
But I'm thinking like, over time it gets more and more.
Sure, yeah.
I don't want to like take all your snacks.
It's alright. I still got some left.
Still got some stuff going on. Yeah. I just want to make sure.
No, enjoy it, yeah.
I will do. Thank you. Best believe I love that shit.
I know you want it.
Do you even sleep, or has the power of Red Bull allowed you to descend into godhood, or no longer shackled to the limitations of tiredness? It's amazing. Yeah. To be honest with you, I've been getting into this really bad habit. 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've noticed.
Yes, I don't know what. It's been 3 in the morning, and then waking up at like 8:30.
This week you've been very early, apart from yesterday. You came in around about midday.
Yesterday?
Was it today?
Today. It was today. Yeah, because I had to go to the doctors.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But do you want to hear the doctor story?
No.
Do you guys want to hear the doctor story?
The real one or the fake one?
The real story. It's an amazing story.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's do a little bit of a quick side diversion.
All right.
Okay. So I was on 9gag, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
And I saw this thing on the side, which is like, click on this, or I saw this thing, right? And Chocks, I can't begin to tell you how amazing this thing is that I've seen. Like, you go through life, right? And things are normal, and you'll see something that you go, I had no idea these things existed. It's the most amazing thing ever, right? Okay. And it's like this. You're gonna Google this straight away. You're gonna all this sort of stuff, right? Honestly, I swear to God, I get like my news from 9gag as well. But anyways, this is something right, where I was stunned. Now I can remember I've done it before, I've had it before where I've like coughed or something, right? And something white has come into my hand, right?
So you cough something white.
Yeah. Do you know what this is yet?
I don't want to say.
Okay, right? Something white, right? And
is it salty?
It's something.
So you spit something out of your hand, out of your mouth, right?
Let's just say something hard rather than something liquidy. Okay,
okay.
Yeah, thanks. Right, yeah, okay. Just to sort of change anything like that.
Yeah, I was like, all right, then.
And what it is basically is what I didn't even know what it was. I just I was a kid at the time. I can remember this. Yeah. But it absolutely stinks.
Okay.
Okay. And I didn't know what it was. And it was like, I think I was like, I can remember distinctly. I was when I was at school, so 15, 20 years ago, right? What I found out what they are, Chocks. They are called tonsil stones. Have you heard of this?
Tonsil stones?
Tonsil stones. Now, what this is you see people popping them out of their tonsils. They're in these groups. Type it in now, Chocks.
I've heard like back
no,
then.
man.
I heard
Type in
like friends back then, like
YouTube.
they went to the hospital to take the tonsils.
Yeah, tonsils out. That's something different, right? YouTube this. You won't believe it. YouTube tonsil stone removals. You won't believe this. Okay, watch this. Watch this video. Just click on that.
You sure?
Yeah, just stick it. Watch what happens, right? You go into the tonsils, and there's like these little. You can't see it from the front. All right, you can't see it from the front, right? And then you push onto it, and then they come out.
Ooh.
Look, watch. Look at this. Look at that.
Ugh.
That.
Uh-huh.
They're right in the middle of all your flaps in your tonsil, right?
Right.
And basically, it's like pure. It's like pure. Look at that. Unbelievable. Look, it squeezes that.
But how did it get there? How did it get built up?
So what it is basically food particles that's gone inside. That's basically bacteria's attacked it and died, and then more bacteria gets on it and dies, and it's basically like pure
built up. Yeah.
It's like pure nastiness, right? It stinks like it's like rotten food. Like it's like nasty, right? I can remember being a kid and seeing that. Oh, like when I squeeze. Oh, look at that! Right, look at that. That's a mental. That's like absolutely mental, right? So, as soon as I saw that. So the point is, a lot of people like have got it, don't even know it because you can't even see it. Look at this one's massive one.
You don't feel anything.
You don't feel it. Sometimes you might. Look at that. Mental, right? And so as soon as I saw that, I was like, Kanako, let's do it, right? I was like, Kanako, let's do it, right? So I'm like, and she's like sticking shit in my tonsils, right? And trying to find some shit. We couldn't find anything, but we're not even sure what we were doing, right? And I pushing shit, and I basically felt like kind of like painful on it because she's been like jabbing it. So I went to the doctor and said, I'm not sure if I've got like inflammation or going on. He's like, yeah, it's a little bit inflamed. What have you been doing? I'm like, oh, nothing. So that's why I went to the doctor this morning.
Right, but there was no.
I couldn't find anything, but again, I'm not sure what we're doing, right?
Right.
Because you gotta like open it up into like, oh, it's like, yeah. Stop calling them nasty. The bacteria are doing their best. You're right, Michael. To be first for doctor, so unbelievable. Have you seen those? Brit knows what I'm talking about. I've never.
But there's no side effect, right? It just builds up, right? But it doesn't really like.
Oh no, it causes bad breath. I mean, if you have really bad breath, it's because it's like pure sulfur. So it's like, and also it can inflame and can give you tonsillitis as well, often as well.
Right.
But it's just amazing that it's you know, that you see some people have like so many of them. But the thing is, if you see some other ones, it's like literally you have to kind of open it up in order to get it out. You can't see it from the front. It's crazy. Right. It's crazy. So when I saw that thanks line guy, I was like, right, Shagia, come on in. Do it. And every time she kept doing it, I kept going, It's mental. Absolutely mental. All right, let's carry on going. I don't even know how we got onto that. Yeah, it's because you were banging on about me coming in late.
All right, then.
And about not being able to sleep. If you were to do a definitive edition for Spike, what would you have done? I don't know. I have to sort of think about what that would be. So, Anthony Lazard, your thoughts on the Sonic Mania style? You have plenty of support from us at F4F and the Sonic fan base. We're going crazy with Mania merch. Such as that style would be beautiful. Yeah, you know, it's definitely on our list of things to really examine. But the TT didn't do too well, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. Ritu TT for Heroes in Time, specifically for that. That's too similar to the regular TMNT, I would have said.
No, it's the arcade version.
Yeah, exactly. Jake, Mayor, would Alphonse take 2 boxes? I would expect that to be the case. We're not at that stage to figure that out yet. Expect him in maybe 3. You know, it's another anime. We don't want it to be too close, so I would say probably in about 2 months. I would say possibly 2 months. How far along is Ed? It's pretty much finished in 3D, so then we'll go into the next stage. So I think by the time that Alphonse comes in, Ed would, let's say 4 to 5 months afterwards, just to give you guys some time to recover. Is there a feature that you always have wanted to implement on a statue that you've just not been able to? I mean, from an mandatory creator point of view. I mean, we're limited by trying to do the value for money. definitive editions are giving us more flexibility when we start doing those, to do things that we couldn't have done before at a higher price point, because we're limited at the prices that we set. With definitive giving us an ability to charge more for it, it gives us ability to do more creative things with that. Various is on the shipping calendar. Is it not going to ship until November? The answer is I don't know anything about that until I go to the factory and I check what's going on. Neil Kramer. So this has been asked before, but do you think you'll be getting any more female representations in your statue soon? Like, someone some yeah, women are coming. John Kaustab. Just curious, how much noise must arrive from a series to be made to official poll? Can you do a poll on Fun Day to be enough to persuade you to go after those licenses? Does the same apply to characters that are part of a license that you know, when do you think the last wave? Okay, so Silver won't be for a while. It's part of the factory that's doing 25th, and they're super slow, so it's going to be a long time. And in terms of the Fun Days and polls and the TTs, and there's nothing really official about it. Just it's mainly this guy doing TTs, and maybe if I see something that go, hey, why not just try that out if I see it. So when I just check out what's going on Fun Days. Abraham Sanchez, just 3 questions to me. Can we get Banjo-Kazooie doing with their instruments or doing the jiggy dance? Sure, Rally the fans, if you want to see multiples. I've already got an idea for Banjo-Tooie. If there is ever such a Banjo 3 in statue form, you know, we can see what's up with that. What other PVCs do you plan to do in 2018? We've got a few of those coming down the line. Well, we said we're going to debut 3. Whether or not we actually launch those on the website is a different matter. Are we still getting the Spark statue? I was really looking forward to it. Not sure. Cordell Murphy, is there a chance of a non-game, non-anime statue? Land Before, non-game, non-animated statue. Land Before Time, Dinosaurs Atlantis was a game in the PS1. Rally the Fans. It sounds like it was still a game though. Non-game, non-anime. And the tradition. Land Before Time. That's not really something that we're doing. That's sort of like just general cartoon films. Any chance of working with Square Enix on future statues? Chocks! There is a waving hand sign here which says new member.
New member. There's always a chance, but
well, we tried with Nier, but that was a no-go. There's Yabuchi. Will you continue using the factory that's making the anime bus 20 for the future projects? They're too slow for F4F. Too slow. Do they change over time? We always, we don't burn bridges. We take stuff away, and if they turn around and go, we've got more workers now, things are better. Hey, we'll have a look. We'll see what's up. But right now, I'm totally not impressed with them. Matthew Lopez in the house. Number 4 is in the house. Platinum or bust, baby. Absolutely. Will you be putting up Shovel Knight 2? And the answer is Player 2. We will be doing that once we have the black version done soon. And we're working on that right now. We'll do them at the same time. Where the card stands, we're working on that right now. In terms of 3D into them, we'll have them physically and we'll show you guys. MJP. Hey Alex, do we have any idea of the PO date for Mario and Yoshi? Will other colored versions be available? Yes, there will be more than one colored version of Mario and Yoshi. Yes, we are actually working on, it's in physical stage. We're starting to slap some paint on that soon. Bowser will be hopefully towards the end of this year if everything goes smoothly. I saw some very pre-production stuff going on that we might start seeing some castings in the near future. Matthew Smith, you got a bloody portrait and a bang finger to show for us, Spike, at the end of this thing. Nope. Sorry. Yeah, no. Martin Coniali, I have the Gamescom question again. You said RTSD will be buyable. Is this the exclusive version or regular? It will be something that we're going to call the collector's edition, which will be the same as the exclusive but not numbered and no packaging. So basically it's the collector's edition. Now that's what we thought about doing for Gamescom, and that's what we actually made for that. The reality is, what we should have done was actually taken exclusives to order, and then we would have sent them if we had figured things out, but we didn't know what we were doing. We would have done that differently. So for example, we will be taking Solaire there. It will be the exclusive version, but it's pre-order. So we won't be doing a collector's edition of that for the show. For shows. Originally we'd done that for that. It didn't work out correctly. 2. I found out about F4F with Ornstein, so I missed Bowser. But you said he's going to be available at Gamescom. Thanks. Sorry question. That's cool, mate. So you can order there. Nice one. You have to see it. How will this go? Did I pay 10% on ID? Yeah. This is my first con. I have no expense. I paid for all at once. So, Martin, the answer is you get your pack, get your discount, jump online, place your pre-order, hit up CS to say you want to pay it all up front. Alex Abucci, Alex, I sent you a super cool MP about Spyro PVCX. You should see it.
PM.
Oh, right. I was going to say. It's a bit late, mate. We've already done it. Whatever it is, but I'll check it out. Can we get a picture of Crash and Aku Aku side by side? Yes. Yes. Is the Worms line done? A resin statue of Concrete Donkey would have been nice. The answer is it is donezo. Which games are included in the Capcom license? Is it all inclusive deal? Street Fighter? The answer is Street Fighter is not included. It's like some of the more sort of like the All-Star sort of stuff, bit of everything, kind of legacy stuff. 4. We have seen that the works at the Crash Factory are going pretty well, but I didn't pre-order Solaire. But since Aku Aku Shovel Knight will be obviously, any updates on Solaire? Oh, well, so Solaire is. I just saw the working of the little triangle under the thing, and I'll update in the club with you guys a little bit later on that. Matt McCullough, would you consider doing a Metal Gear Rex? Well, 3-0 did a great job on that. I'm not sure whether or not there's still demand for something like that. Jason, Alex Chocks, what's your favourite Bebop character? It is most certainly all our favourites, right, Chocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't have one without the other.
Bada bing, bada boom. Robert Elliott, what sort of changes the Capcom request on Phoenix this time? Just a darker colour of blue. Rob Newbury, question on Spike. What made you decide to release Spike before Jet? They were both done at the same time. Jet was a first. Then we had to make some changes to Jet. You don't know this because you haven't. Oh, because you guys bitched about Jet's head. That's why. Now I remember. Yeah, you bitched about Jet's head, so we reworked that. Troy Blair. Because, number 1, because you love it. The speed of Legend of Zelda stuff is what Nintendo lets us to do. If we had a choice, we would do one every week. Don't know. Number 3, don't know. Just like last week, I didn't know. But you're asking me again this week. Number 4, because they're super busy. Super busy, as you can imagine. 5. Twilight Princess Link, just to hear you guys bitch about how the fact it wasn't 1/4 scale. For number 5. 6. Because it is whatever's available first, mate. Though we've had to make some changes to Shake a Slate, so therefore we need to see where they're coming up and write a link with paint slinging right now. Because for 7, we're not sure. Why does the Legend... I'll read out the questions that aren't just repeats of last week. How about that, yeah? Why doesn't Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask have its own line? The answer is because there's no guarantee we'll continue doing anything from there. Because I can see Fierce Deity Link Master doing well, but what about the rest of them? 8. Do you plan on showing any Legend of Zelda? The answer is no. 9. Isn't that the same question as 3? 10. The answer is hopefully. Never change, Troy. Never change. Jason Shepard. I just discovered you guys. Nice one. I'm excited. I did in time for Spike's release. That's awesome, Chocks. And that is really great, that doing that capture article and then people joining and all that stuff. That's awesome. He'll be ordering. I'm much appreciated on that. Can you give us an idea for future releases for Jet, Faye, the rest, etc.? The answer to that is, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. I would probably say you guys probably need about 4 to 5 months between the two. If that's the case, let's say it's 5 months. Let's say it's 4 months. That means I've got 8 months with which to finish the next in the line, which would be Faye. I think that's pretty straightforward. If I do it 5 months, it means I've got 10 months because I've already got Jet ready. So that's cool. Two, rally the fans if you want to see some bebop ships. 3, yes, there will be an exclusive version of Spike. Randy Gerards, how much would Artorias have cost if it wouldn't have had the reduced price? Are you talking about the OG one? I don't know, it's hard to say. Times are very different from 2016 and now. What would the price be back then? Maybe 550, I guess, back then? I don't know. Who knows? Lesubuchi, how does Rider Link scale next to PVC Breath of the Wild Link? Same height, bigger, smaller? Take your
just the Link, just the Rider Link.
Breath of the Wild Link PVC, compare it next to Link on Epona, TP Link on Epona, or Skyward Sword Link on Loftwing. If they are the same, then that's how big Rider Link will be. If they're different, you should look at what those sizes are. If you've got Link on Loftwing or Link on Epona, those are the sizes that it matches. It's the part of the Link on series. Ryan Gerards, regarding the 1/4, 1/6 discussion, how far, as far as I know, a single resin mold can create about 50 pieces. Could something like that be used as a baseline for batch sizes? The answer is, it's not just making the molds, it's making the... Do you know what the cost is of making the prototype at the different size? It's... 50 pieces would kill us. You make the packaging at 50 pieces, you know. Or the answer is no chance. No chance. Each one needs to be hitting the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds to get that value there. Which pieces will you be bringing to Gamescom? Can a Boop Orny snoop? The answer is yes, you can. Will you bring Soul Calibur 2 to Gamescom? The last thing I want to do is basically have a club member come onto the stand and leave crying because they've just been absolutely smashed by me at Soul Calibur 2. So the answer to that is, you know, in the interest of making sure everyone doesn't go home boo-hooing, I will not be bringing it. Elisabuchi, is there a second line planned for the PVC crash line, or is it one and done? It's looking at, probably looking at nothing for plan right now. Will you bring some flyers with 1,000 reward points for the Gamescom like you did for NYCC? I believe we will do. I don't know if it's 1,000 reward points or what it is. Definitely we will believe we will do. Brian, when do you plan on releasing Jet for PO? 4 to 5 months after Spike. Brenton Freely asked this question last week, but it had a horrible service and I thought it wasn't posted, but it didn't. Was 3706 fast enough for single digits of Banjo-Kazooie? Yes. It is. Maybe. Sarah Arrington. Little Chibi still this year and Warpstar. No Chibi, Warpstar yes. Not done Faye, so nothing to explain about. Oh. You mean like... If you mean like Faye's material would be polystone, it wouldn't be movable. I submitted Dracula and Death the other day to Konami with the possibility of a mini pop line interest mini dragons. Yeah, you know, definitely. mini things is definitely something on our line, on our radar. So could that be mini Metroids? You know, perhaps mini solar reflectors, a weaponry line of mini ones. Hey, it's almost like the sort of metal lines, I'll call them, mini metal lines maybe. Is Ivy still coming to Soul Calibur? Yeah, she's second. She's next. James Reyes, what does the guy have to do with Morrigan? Yeah, tease. We actually saw some updated concepts. I'm really happy with how that's coming out. Just now. Brian D. Witherlit, any updates on Persona 5? Nothing to report. Number 1 for Brenton Rostello, any updates on Ica? Brenton, can you write me a poll of what I should post for me? Because I can't remember what I got to do. How can I best write it in a way that can get conclusion? So write it for me, please, Brendan. Thank you. Will the Cowboy Bebop line be finished? As long as you guys are there with us, the answer is absolutely. We'll lower the bar of doing it. Spyro art box shown soon. Asked Georgia Martin. Yeah. It will be. It's normally shown when I do the drop tests. Crystal Dragon art card poll soon. No, Sandy's not back yet. Not really a question. I hope there's no more delays on Spyro. I know the changes you asked for will fix, and he looks perfect. But the answer is, I can't guarantee there's no more delays, but I can guarantee you that we will try our best to make sure that everything looking perfect, as much as we can control that. Colin Morden, have you guys been watching all the SDCC coverage? If so, what's your favorite thing you've seen so far and why? Definitely a lot of things have been amazing, but it's just it's pretty it's all very interesting. We said a little bit earlier, saw some amazing stuff in Blitzway.
There's a lot, because I keep an eye on as much as possible on all of them, and everyone's has something that I like.
Yeah,
so
I've been impressed with the Pop Culture Shocks Ultimate Warrior. I liked seeing the Goblin King from Chronicles. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That looks nice. Look, I appreciate
Tomb Raider from Weathers, not bad.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, especially because I've done a lot of work on Tomb Raider myself before, so it's nice to sort of see.
The Spider-Man from Hot Toys, not bad.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's like it's from the game. 1/6 articulated.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Spider-Man suit and the punk Spidey.
You have to look at it afterwards. I haven't had a chance to sort of see that. Yeah.
Yeah, like Iron Studios, like the one.
Oh yeah, they're killing it.
Yeah.
Really good job.
Good, yeah. Blitzway, Storm Collectibles. Yeah. Nice one, guys. Yeah. Hope you guys are having fun.
Yeah. All right. Angela La, any news on AMI PVC? The answer is, it's coming on very, very nicely. Wesley van der Bosch, how's Lucy? Yo, last week there was a small sentence about build your own diorama for Pikmin. How serious was that? I love this, and I love everything at least once.
We're serious.
Well, that's something that we threw around, but we never.
TT, yeah.
But the TT didn't get enough traction to even get it. It was like if we were to do Pikmin, we would release this to create your own diorama. That's what we would be doing. 577. It's not good enough for a Nintendo piece. Bob, how much is Spike? Is there a next version? You will see that towards the end of the show. We're coming close to that soon. Chan Smith, you're on the stream, mate, so it's all good. We're here. Tyler Odom, we're almost done, yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Almost done. ETM Various, you're looking for a house that can fit more, and I want to know how long I have left. Majora's took the final spot I currently had. Nice one, Tyler. The answer is, I can't give you that answer until I go to the factories, but you can clearly see from the production that it's sort of deep in there, the painting stage. Larissa Walker, what are your thoughts on the PVC link, Midna on Wolf Link? If it hit 1,000 votes, would you consider making this? The answer is, like something like that, I don't even need to look at any poll to know that it would do amazingly well. So it's not about hitting 1,000. It's not anything about that. That's not going to make any difference to me. But definitely PVCs will not be focusing on Twilight Princess at this stage. It will be focusing on Breath of the Wild. So, but hey, never say never in the future. Regis Luther, do you plan on doing a Cyber Ninja for Metal Gear Solid? The answer is yes, after Psycho Mantis. When will the Raphael wants to know when will the production of Ornstein begin? It will begin, you know, we basically told the factory not been happy with how long they've been taking with Bowser and Vario Suit, and that's to be starting after that. So we've given them some deadlines that if they don't get their act together and start it, we're going to pull it and go somewhere else that can put it at the front. So, you know, we're seeing these up and ahead, you know, in the future, seeing this happening. Caleb Harrison, hey guys, hope you're having a great day so far. Any updates on the Sonic and Tails diorama? The answer is yeah. That's now been we're now figuring out the size, and then we're going to go to print for that. James B, what was your favorite moment after the license was approved? Did ideas and joy start flowing, or was it nerves? Oh, if you're talking about Cowboy Bebop, we always go into a license thinking of what we could do initially, and then once we sit down and get the license, we then really sort of sit down. Is it joy? Of course, it's always happy when we get something, but it's also thinking about how can we. But it's also, we know there's a lot of hard work that needs to go into the next stage. So it's kind of like, okay, because when we start any license, you've got to sort of sit down and go, all right, how do we see this first piece, and then how do we see it as part of a line? And it takes a lot of. We know it's a hard work, but once we sort of start getting to that concept and we figured it out, and then we start going further and further into it, it starts becoming more enjoyable as we sort of see it come out. The Bead, in celebration of FLCL sequel anime finally coming out this summer after a decade and a half, can we get an FLCL anime TT as the next anime TT after Code Geass?
Fully cool, yeah.
Mini Crystal Dragons, Jiggies, Jingos, Notes, and Honeycombs all seems like on the table. Can we get a poll interest in Mini Chocks?
What?
Watch this space. Cedric Bardo, bonjour. Do you want me to ask a dozen questions? Sure, do it. Are you sure? Uh-huh. Like, really sure? I really am. Okay, truth or dare? I'll go for... dare. Especially because I read what you said for 5A and 5B. Oh, wait! If you choose dare, give me 1 million F4F war points. Well, that's a really good point. Can I go back to truth? How about no? I will give you 1 million F4F war points if you order enough to get them. You said you have to rework Kiryu's face, but what happened to the rework you showed us earlier this year? I lost the file. Because we weren't bothering. We weren't going to bother doing it. Will I ever win Who Dat? No chance. Where's your bloody Arnold? F4F Q&A with Arnold. No chance.
I don't think he says that.
Of course he says no chance.
I don't know.
Let's see. Definitely says no chance. Just no. It says. Oh, you gotta go turn it off. You gotta go and turn this off. Yeah. Go back into your stream and turn that off. Yeah.
Turn it off. Oh.
No. Scroll down. Click on it.
Oh, there. It's hidden.
Oh, yeah. There you go. But I couldn't hear it. How come it didn't come on?
No, it is not true.
It is there. Trust me.
No deal.
Surely he no chances it.
Don't be ridiculous. Why not?
He's got a lot of things to say, I guess. Keep on looking down there.
Doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, if you're young or old.
Day one.
Day one?
This is that.
Day one.
Is anybody here planning to get day one Spike?
On October 7th, we the people of California
Oh my
have
God.
a message to the political establishment that we want action and we want change.
Indeed. Most important question ever, what song did you use in Spike's documentary? I don't think we couldn't get the rights to use the sounds. That was something that we couldn't get. Will you ever make a life-size Alex and Chocks pillowcase? No plans right now. Michael Light, did you get to try the tea? No, I actually haven't had a chance to do that yet. Need to do that. You know that the obby or the pink thing is on our door at our home, so I see it every day. Salim Dishar, any chance to see Digimons, especially if you want any Digimons, there is a TT, so rally that. Hey Alex, today's the last day to back out that bet if you're shaking. Trust me. Trust me. They will not do better. Regis Luta, any chances we get Studio Ghibli? Do you already establish contact with them? We tried to get in contact with them, we were denied. Alyssa, well, I mean, we didn't even get off the starting block, but that was about 3 years ago. Alyssa Nicole Richardson, do you have any idea of timelines for when conversions might happen for those waitlisted on SIF? Ready my wallet for the potential? The answer is, I'm not too sure about that. It's quite hard for us to predict that. Also, is the Resident Solaire waitlist still a possibility for those jumping on nowish? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Nick Teves. First question, mate. It's the end of the Q&A. It's not first question. You better be quick because I'm about to close it up. About Spike, is the hair going to have a greenish look to it in the final piece? We're going to be talking about Spike in a minute.
Yeah.
When will there be some Berserk news? The answer is a little bit later on when we get a little bit further down the line. Boom. Done.
Done.
It's done. Please, will you guys share this out? We're about to show Spike. It's time for me to do my number one, not a number two. Alright, thanks, mate.
It's those nuts, isn't it? It's those spicy nuts.
That'll be a number two.
Alright guys, thanks for sticking around for so long. Hope you guys enjoyed that Q&A. Tonight, yes, that's right, Jake. We will go once the number one man who's going out for a number one will come back very shortly, hopefully in a couple of minutes. So yes, guys, tonight is the Spike Spiegel Cowboy Bebop reservation period. We will have a little something to show for you guys soon. There will be a documentary, a giveaway, all the lovely stuff that we normally do with a launch. Make sure you check out the announcements. That's where the FAQ and the how to validate information will be. It will highlight what versions there are, how much the shipping costs, the pricing, any flexi payment plans, and all that information will be on the website as well after the stream. So guys, do check it out. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys support the anime line. So hopefully that will continue. That's right, Jeff. Is it finally time? Yes. Alex has gone out for a quick break, so he'll be back soon, and let's get that started. No, Robert, it's as designed. It's not dirty. It's trying to give off this kind of like different shades. When are we going to edit the pre-order calendar? That is true. I think we're pretty much caught up, haven't we, Ronald? Now's the time to refresh the stream. Oh, wow. Hey, Regis Litter, I think that's my first full Q&A. Thanks for surviving that far. Hey Edgar, once we go live, you should be able to share the documentary from YouTube. And we'll probably upload it onto the Facebook page as well, so you can share that out as well. Hey Wesley Clark, is Yakuza statue this year? Not quite sure. Not quite sure, but there's a lot of things going on with Yakuza franchise this year, isn't there? lots of games coming out. Thanks, Alessa. Yeah. We're cool. Yep. So yes, the number one is back from his number one. Hey, Howard V. All right, Jake. You've been busy with some Spike posts this week, so hopefully there's more to come from you.
Watch your foot, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Emilio. Any news on Alphonse, Edward, and Dante? Wow. We've been through Alphonse and Edward earlier on in the stream. They're working fine. As progress, same as Dante, right?
Yeah, we've been working on some changes to that. It's looking good now. All right, it's time.
I'm so quiet. Tell us a joke, Michael Pillett.
All right, let's do this.
All right, guys, you guys ready? Please do share this video out to all the Cowboy Bebop clubs, pages, etc. And hopefully the guys will join very shortly.
Now, a lot of people haven't actually... So when we actually recap, we actually launched People to See Spike was in C3, and that was in February.
December.
It was February.
On the documentary said...
Yeah, I know. It was actually February the 9th, right?
On Sunrise Booth.
On Sunrise Booth.
Yes. Got it? Oh, sorry. Got it?
Yeah. No, I haven't got that. Just put that away.
That's right, on Sunrise Booth.
On Sunrise's booth, and you could sort of see it in kind of not so clear light, because it was kind of like
it was behind
kind
glass.
Behind glass, it wasn't. You couldn't go around the sides or that sort of stuff. But what you couldn't really see is just how big it is. I mean, obviously you have an idea; it's 1/4 scale, sure, but you couldn't sort of get to see that. Of course, you're going to see it just now, just how big it is right now. Of course, it's 1/4. People get it, right? But a lot of people that might have found out about us, as we talked about in the documentary, a lot of people might actually only discover about F4F because of Spike, because of Cowboy Bebop. And a lot of, we said that a lot of anime products usually are in the 1/6 and below. So 1/6, 1/7, 8. No, that's more the sort of
10,
typical sort of size.
1/12, yeah.
And it's usually because, Chocks, it's come out of Japan. Anime, of course, is the birthplace, is in Japan. And a lot of the apartments, as you know, spaces are premium, very much like in Hong Kong. And that's why the popularity of smaller size stuff, and also you know how like Japanese quite like small things, right? And they have a... look at the cards. Anyways, so to actually see a 1/4 anime piece for someone who's not in the statue industry, who doesn't really understand the statue market, but only understands the anime PVC, might be quite shocked at the size of it. Obviously, it's 1/4. You guys know what it is, but those that are new may not sort of know that. And of course, that can be quite surprising.
Yeah.
Also, one of the consideration, of course, of that is, well, let's stop talking, let's bring it out first. We can talk a little bit more about that when we get on it.
Yeah.
1/8 is massive for anime. No, always at the end. Always at the end.
Really?
Yeah, it's only for, yeah.
All right,
you asked me that last time as well.
No, I said, why not show it twice?
No, that's only hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Let's do it.
No, I'm not getting any feedback. You
They're
guys ready?
All right. Nice one, Chocks. There you go, guys. You can now see the size of him. It's bloody a quarter of my size. Which is actually, he's bigger than a quarter of my size because he's taller than me.
That's right. He's got very long legs.
Very, very long legs. Check it out, guys.
Of course, guys, this is a webcam, so it's not really going to show up really well.
Move the out of the way, please.
But make sure you check out the documentary, because that will be recorded in 4K, and you'll be able to see all the details and close-up shots.
All right, let me get a little bit closer so you can see what's up. All right, here we go, guys. Now, we'll talk a little bit about the sizing in a minute, right? But whilst we're sort of here, let's just put one thing to bed. And the fact is, maybe it's going to be hard to sort of see. but there are green tints in his hair. Let me see if I can find that. It's kind of, maybe it's hard to see on the cam. There is definitely some green tints on the hair, it's little highlights. Also on the top part as well. Little bits of green. As I said, I'm not sure how it sort of comes out. There's definitely sort of green bits over here. But it's definitely overall, it's giving me a feeling that it is, it's black overall, but with little bits of green in there as well. Can you sort of see how that comes out? It's sort of subtle. Can you see it more on?
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, it's definitely there in the. It is obvious, but I don't know
so
if it comes
obvious.
out in there. Yeah.
It's so obvious, guys. There is green tinges
of hints and tinges of right. So if we put them here.
That's right, Amanda. Jeebus. That's huge.
Right, yeah, it's huge.
Jeebus.
Certainly for an anime piece. But one of the things we wanted to say is what we consider with, if you consider that a lot of people that discover us, if you know about us, we make this sort of size product. It's quite normal. It's very normal for us, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of people that are discovering us for the first time, and we've seen it in the club. We just seen that Nathan was like, "Oh, I want to get it for this." Becky was like, "Well, she knew about us before, but is interested in this character." Well, the thing about that means that they're mainly used to, if they're into the anime figures, smaller scales, smaller bases, and space might be something of a premium when you consider our typical pieces, if they're in 1/4 scale, if they have a complicated base, can quite dramatically increase the foot space on this, in terms of the the footprints on that. And look at that. It really is.
I'm glad to see Edgar has noticed that the eye colours are different.
Oh, he's not. God, Edgar, can you stop? Spoiler alert, mate. God, spoiler alert.
Hey, Monya.
Hey, Monya in the house.
Oh shit, that's awesome. Oh wow, nice. I'm glad you can appreciate Spike.
Yeah. Now.
Hey, Jess Dom. Holy moly.
I was wanted to sort of talk about the sizing of this and the base itself. We'll come back to that a little bit later. We'll talk about that base a little bit later on. But let's talk a little bit about, I guess, some of the poses first. Let's talk about the pose first, okay? The first of all is, we talked about this static poses looking, or museum poses, looking very easily to be quite stiff. One of the things about Spike is he has an amazingly kind of aloof and cool personality. Like, unbelievably calm and cool and chilled, but he can kick your ass anytime. And that is something that was quite a challenge to get in the pose itself. Now, if we look at it straight on, he's looking into the camera like this, right? If you look at the way he's sort of standing, right? The way he's standing is, he's got his hand in his pocket. His body is, I'm put this down.
It's too heavy.
Yeah, it's a bit heavy. Right, if I sort of lower this down a bit. Right, so if I bring this back over here. Don't let that fall off. Okay, right, cool. So the way he's standing, let's talk a little bit about how he's standing. First of all, he has, it's quite difficult to get that pose in a way that it's kind of, how should I say it? It's loose, it shows his personality, but it also looks natural. It doesn't look stiff. Now, of course, you could have had him sort of standing like this, and of course, it would look really, really stiff. Now, how do we break up the uniformity of a pose? Well, first of all, is if you look at the center of gravity, if you go all, I thought I'd talk about this in the Q&A, but right, the center of gravity, you have to have this leg in the middle of the body in order to have this leg bent. If you have, and that's why if you look at this leg curls, not curls, sort of angles to the middle. It angles to the middle section of his body. The weight distribution is in the middle. In order to have the bend in the leg, you have to have that leg going inwards a bit. Now, that means it's going inward. Now, if you had this leg straight as well, you could have the ability to have it going more straight down. But because this leg is bent, you have to have this leg going in. His body itself is not straight. There is a tilt in the shoulders where his right shoulder is forward and his left shoulder is back in order to naturally put your hand in your pocket. If you're standing straight and you put your hand in your pocket, it's a little less natural. It's kind of like leaning back with your left arm and pushing forwards with your right hand with the gun itself. Now, if we talk about it on the side and we get a look of it over here, you can really sort of see a more of a kind of like a way where this is kind of slightly arching backwards and forwards on the leg. So it's arching backwards, but you get that kind of really playful loop. Hey, Uncle Scabs and Junior Guzman, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. So that is what you're talking about, the contrapposto. That's the whole idea of where you have balancing. It's like a leeway where if this goes up, the other one goes the other way in order to take that into account, and a more natural look. That is really there all amongst it. You really get that kind of sense of not just standing there. It's really kind of got this way that it's kind of just chilled, and it's really got to have his personality. Now, Chocks, how else did we have that personality? Well, first of all, we talked a bit about the hand in the pocket, just chilling, right?
Yeah.
We also said that we want him to be kicking your ass at any time, so he's at the ready with a gun. I mean, the reality is, if you see some dude with a gun, you're not just you're gonna back up, right? You're gonna make sure that you don't piss him off because, well, fair enough, we're not in America, and maybe this is more of a normal occurrence, but certainly for us, this is like, oh, if someone's coming along who's just chilling with a gun, and be like, all right, laters, mate, I definitely know you can kick my ass. Well, you can kill me instantly, basically. The other thing is, of course, he is chilled as hell because he's sitting there with a cigarette in his mouth right there. Right.
Standing there.
Sorry, standing there with a cigarette. Absolutely right, Chocks. With a cigarette in his mouth, because that is inherently his personality. Now we'll talk about details in a minute. But just want to talk about the pose and the personality of Spike being able to have that shine through. So really hope that you like the. I really hope that you like the sort of way that he's standing. Does it scream Spike to you? Does Spike do a lot of action scenes? Yeah, but he's actually more about just being cool, to be honest with you. And we wanted to have this in this kind of when we considered it as a part. You know, if it was going to be one and done, it was just going to be one character from Bebop. Yeah, probably we'll be a little bit more. We'll consider that a little bit more. But we really thought about the entire line, the whole Bebop crew. And the genius of the bass will really start making sense when you start seeing them next to each other. You always start clicking, going, oh, okay. Let's talk a little bit about that bass first before we go into that. And then we'll talk about the details as well. So the bass itself, Chocks, I'm just going to...
Take it off, yeah?
Yeah, pop them off. There you go, Chocks. Right, nice one. Now, the bass itself, of course, is a matte finish with a gloss cover in order to get that logo shining, so you can sort of see it from different angles, right? Okay, and when you look at it from the top, you don't necessarily sort of see it, but of course, if you look at it directly, you can see it the way it shines. Now, you have the Cowboy Bebop logo. Of course, it says Cowboy Bebop in English in the middle, and that is obviously the famous logo, and we incorporated that directly onto the bass itself. Now, directly below it, of course, you see, if you look at it from a distance, Chocks, it's what color is it? It's blue. You can instantly see it's blue. Forget about there's any imagery on it. It's blue. Now, the reason why it's blue, of course, is if you're a fan of Cowboy Bebop, you know there's a lot of strong imagery of colors, where Jet is really green, Spike is really blue, and I believe, was it, can you tell me what Faye and Ed and Nine are? I haven't sort of do the research on that. I think they are yellow and red, respectively. Let me just double check that.
I believe so.
Which is which? I can't remember exactly.
Faye's yellow.
You sure about that?
Really?
Possibly. Cowboy Bebop. Do you guys know?
Yeah, there.
Perfect. Yeah, you're right. Faye is red, not yellow.
I said yellow, right?
Yeah, exactly. She's red. That's what I'm saying. That's right. Oh, they sort of change in between, but you know. Anyways, there are the distinct colours of green, red, blue, yellow. It's a distinct thing of Bebop, right? And as a result,
Depends what you're looking at. She's blue as well.
yeah, right, exactly right. So, you know, but they have their distinct colours, and each one of the bass themselves will start making sense when you start seeing them next to each other. And one of the things that this actually is a result of the club, actually, we had shown some sort of initial ideas, and it was people who actually said, oh no, she's yellow, yeah. It was some people that actually said that would be a good idea to have incorporate the colours of the character itself, and I went with that idea. I didn't say it at the time, I can't remember who said it, but definitely it was suggested in the club, and it did influence me to do that. So that has come from the club. So thank you so much for that, club members who suggested that, and we went with that. But we didn't want just go with the blue. No, we did the blue at the show. People would have seen that they
just saw the plain blue.
This the plain blue. What they
Plain
didn't
blue,
see is that
yeah.
there is actual imagery going through there. Now, of course, if you see it from distance, it's blue. So when you first see it, it's blue. But when you go close to it and you go to look at the details, well, you'll actually see that there is. Let me bring it up, the picture. You know, there is, of course, images of Spike. And, of course, if you keep going, you see there his swordfish. And there you go, guys. It gives you an idea. And this was pulled from directly from official artwork that we were given. We then turned them into a black and white style. Well, you know, a black and blue style, I should say it. And then basically incorporated it through that. So you don't notice it until you get close. And then you kind of see the added details first. So that's why it's really... Like, bases don't have to be... I just want to say something. There is no right or wrong answer in your opinion on this. Bases do not need to be... How do I say it? There is two different school of thoughts on bases. Now, some people will like what is considered... Thanks, Chocks. Yeah. Some people will like bases that are simple and plain and... Am I doing this the wrong way around, Chocks?
No, that's the right way.
Okay. Some people will like bases that are like this, and it will really go with what they like. Simple, plain, and when you have something like this, the emphasis is 100% on the character. What is your eyes drawn to? It is the character. And it was very similar with Alucard as well. The base was very, very plain in comparison to because the piece itself is the focus is straight on the character, and there is no right or wrong answer to this. You can like a very simple base to have the emphasis on the character. Some people like big bases, and some like quite big bases, and there's some that are like, which I believe is well, and it's my opinion. Two big bases where the character is secondary. That the first thing that you see is the base. For me, is not something that I really like myself personally. I don't really see too much of that happening here at F4F. We've never really done that before. When the base overpowers the character, for me, I'm not buying a base. I'm buying a character. Is my sort of mindset. So there is no right or wrong answer when it comes to bases. You either like simple bases, you like medium base concepts, and you like big ones. And hey, people like big butts and cannot lie. You know, some people like small butts, some people like medium butts. There is no right or wrong answer to that. I don't even know how we're talking about butts on this show, but it is what it is. The point being is, for us, I've never really gone past simple and medium. Big, it's not really for me, and I'm quite fortunate in the way that I get to decide, or we get to decide kind of what it's going to be like. We always kind of like a mixture of either simple or medium. Now, for this base itself, there was a distinct reason why we went this, for a variety of different reasons. The first one was, Chocks, the footprint. For those that are buying anime stuff for the first time and discovering us, the actual footprint of itself is actually really, really small. But the presence of the piece, because it's so big and vertical, it's really, really good. It's really, really a good blend between the two. So, really happy with this size, and it allows us to do, and considering that there's the whole crew to do, hashtag finish the line, etc., it starts making sense when you start putting them next to each other. Hopefully you like that concept. The next thing to say is we'll come back and we'll talk about the pricing later, and we'll come back and talk about the base a little bit more when we talk about the pricing, Chock. So we'll just pause the conversation about the base for now. Let's now talk about them details, Chocks. Let's talk about, we've talked about the pose, but how do you create the pose with the details to make it realistic? Yeah, we have the way that he's standing in a natural way where it's not looking like he's all stiff. We've got that down. Let's talk about the details, right? Let's zoom in and have a look at that face. Now, this face is definitely, thank you to the F4F community. They really helped out on this. First of all, if we talk about the actual details, there's a scene in the anime where he talks about how one eye is actually darker than the other. And if you look over here, this eye, this eye, so his right eye, is lighter than his. Let me see if we can get this. His right eye is lighter. Why is that not coming in?
Yeah, I can see it.
There you go. His right eye is lighter than his left eye, which is really correct from the show. He has that sort of kind of almost like a kind of like sleepy eyes, doesn't he? Almost like a little bit that kind of kind of like that kind of look to his eye shape, which really matches from the anime itself. The hair, of course, we talked. I just wanted to talk about the hair being green from the beginning because people were talking about that. So we confirmed that the head is green. The hair itself was really tough to do, Chocks.
Yeah.
There is this whole idea of layers where there's a sort of parting over here, and then we use that to start creating the shape of the hair. And from there you have this top layer of shape, and then underneath it, it starts going in. All these hair clumps are going in a specific direction. Each hairpiece has a very specific purpose. If you look at the sideburns, they're going down. If you look at the sideburns, they're going down. If you look at the fringe itself, the way it splits open, it's there as well. The way it splits open at the fringe, it opens out. It all makes sense from each hairpiece having a specific direction in order to create this crazy hairpiece that he has. He has this really amazing hairstyle that really is important to try and capture. And that was really something that we took a long time to get that right for that hairpiece. Now the eyes, we talked about the eye and the faces and the facial planes. The difficulty about animes is a lot of the time is you make a cell or a scene in the anime, and the way they draw the faces, it's very, very tough because it's a lot of the time it creates very, very single lines, Chocks, which allows for you to create your own impression of what the character should look like, right, Chocks? Mm-hmm. You fill in what the nose should look like, you fill in what the mouth should look like, because it's drawn in a very simple way.
Yeah.
And therefore that's really, really hard to translate, because the way that I think his nose is and the way his mouth is, you may think it's very different, and therefore when you look at it, I see Spike and you might not see Spike. But we sort of took all of that together, and we actually asked the club for a lot of help, mm-hmm. and then we got to a consensus on that. Now, if you look at this piece throughout the whole time, you're going to notice a lot of angular shapes to him. Spike in the anime, all the animes have quite sort of sharp angles based on lines as well. So if you talk about the actual cigarette itself, it's kind of sort of slightly bent. His face has these kind of flat plane of face. His face is very like, the front is very flat and the sides, it kind of almost like it doesn't sort of curve around, it's kind of like flat planes like that. Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah. It's just like with any majority of 2D anime, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah, so basically
exactly right.
we go through a lot of same situation when we did, for example, Saitama.
Right.
And Mugen as well. So it's back to basics, thinking what should a 2D transform to a 3D would look like.
Right.
Not just the nose, the eyes, the ears.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because like that hairpiece, we spent a long time on that, because it just looks like a clump of green lines.
Absolutely.
in the anime. So to have that transition to a 3D, how it is now, hopefully we have captured his essence, his look-alike.
Absolutely. Hopefully you guys agree. Now, if we talk a little bit about the actual pose itself and what that does to the actual the piece, let's talk a little bit about this. As you know, his arm. Let's talk about the upper body. His arm is in his trouser pocket. Now, this trouser pocket has a bump to it that doesn't happen over here. It's because there is some thickness to his hand. Therefore, when it goes in, you can see right here, there's a thickness to it over here. And the way its hand is put into the pocket, right? You can sort of see that. It goes in. The hand goes into the pocket. Now, if you look at the actual clothing himself, what the clothing is like, you'll see that his top is like this. The bottom of the jacket is straight, except for when you come around over here, you'll notice a lot more bunching of material around his waist jacket at the point that it goes over his hand, because it makes sense when you have a sort of thick cloth like a jacket. When you close up the suit jacket and you put your hand in it and the cloth goes over it, it pushes it up and bunches the material around it. The wrinkles, of course, is there throughout. He's quite a loose fitting jacket. He actually rolls up his sleeves. You can see some different colors over here between the actual blue of the top and the blue of the wrinkled rolled up sleeves. Of course, you see some subtle different colors over here. It's like this material here matches the same material color. So the inner part of his suit jacket is what you see here. This is it lying down. So almost, if you can imagine this folded across over here, the back side of this piece would be the same material color as this. But because it's opened up like his style, it's actually this lighter blue, which is then translated to the lighter blue of his rolled up sleeves, because it's the internal material, Chocks. The actual pose itself, we talked a little bit about how this shoulder goes backwards, right, Chocks, the way he puts it into there. But as you said, right, the opening of his collar, we haven't ignored the opening of his collar. This collar is straight and this collar is more open. Why is that, Chocks? Because of the movement of the body, and you put your hand in your pocket, it actually can lead to your cloth just slightly opening up a little bit more.
As well, yeah.
And these are the sort of things, guys, that we look at that you might not notice, and hopefully when we sort of say this, you go, oh, okay, yeah, you know, you're right, I get that, and maybe you wouldn't have seen it if we didn't point it out. But these are the sort of things that we sit down and we look at all the time. Does it actually make sense? Would it make sense? We could have just very easily just gone exactly the same, but it's we started to open it up just to break up the symmetry and to make it more natural, and that's sort of something that we wanted to make sure we did. Of course, his necktie, he's got his collar up. It's that kind of stiff, starchy look to the collar, but still some wrinkles in there at the back. You can sort of see some wrinkle details back there. Of course, he has his collar that goes all the way around, and down to the bottom. This is not a typical suit, Chocks. It doesn't have a collar of a typical suit jacket, right? So it's very Spike-esque. Now, let's talk a little bit about his proportions. This boy is weird. He has... This is not normal. These lengths of these legs, and don't forget, you're looking sort of at an angle with the cameras slightly at an angle, but if you actually look straight on, he has a ridiculous length of proportions with the length of his legs. It's not normal. If it was more about sort of like here, his crotch would sort of be, it's a little bit more normal proportions, but it's bang on from the anime. The anime really has this type of proportion, and it's really important for us to have captured that, to make sure that the proportions really match him. It's not just about the pose, it's not just about the details, but the proportions of the character is something that we have to really, really look into, and he really is quite unique. And it's actually very different to Jet Black. Jet Black's very quite standard human looking, where his, you know, how long his legs are, his upper body, his head, that ratio is really, really different to Spike. Spike is kind of unique with really, really long legs and a sort of comparatively shorter body as a result of comparing them together. And, you know, hey, Jesse, you were a winner. Congratulations on the Friday Q&A with the points. Right, Jessica, he's got legs for days. How you doing, JC? Yeah, so, you know, he's been going. That's how he's sort of... he wanted to make sure it's not just about the pose. It's not just about the details. It's also about the proportions. Some people will just assume, oh, yeah, it's just the proportions. It's just sort of standard. But no, this is not the standard proportions. They have their own very specific proportions for the, you know, for the anime itself. It's really, really specific for it. You're right, Kana. You're exactly right. Bayonetta's legs are super, super long. You're right. You are absolutely right. Oh, nice one, Jesse. You were there, were you? Okay, that's cool. Mike wants to look up and see his feet. Okay, 1 second. Again, we go back to the details of the boots. Look at that. His left leg is the one in the middle, right? Supporting it, right? That's flat on the ground. But his right foot is bending, and therefore look at the crease in the boot. You see the creases in the boot? At the point that he is down here, you can see the crease in the boot to give that kind of feeling of making sense. Again, it's very easy to miss these things, but once you put them all together, like the fact that his pose is like this, right? The fact that his pose is like this. I push this back a little bit. Hold on. Ooh, should be okay. The fact that his pose is like this, it means that you have to have. How do you make this pose seem more believable? You got to have things like this crease on the, on the boot. The way that the folds go over his shoulder, go over his hand. The way there's 3D-ness in his hand in his pocket. All of these things, taken separately, don't amount to much. But when you put them all together, it makes it much more believable. Much more believable. And, do you think that Dallas is saying that these boots should be a little darker? Hey, you guys dissect the pictures, dissect the videos. Just make sure you check the studio lighting, because sometimes this might wash things out and you might not be able to see it. If you come back and say, hey, it needs to be slightly darker, we can, review any of that sort of stuff. That's right. So you can definitely see the pant lengths, Mike. It's definitely as per the actual anime. Now let's talk about a little bit of detail, added detail. Most animes are quite visually plain drawn, but we wanted to add a little bit of subtle details in it, and we went and added some. Let's see if I can get this over here. Can you guys see some stitch marks? Is that coming out? There you go. Look at that. Stitch marks. And it goes around the back. Chocks, give us a bit of it. Oh, it's along here as well. Going down there. And then it goes all the way around the back. Get that to come in. There you go. You can sort of see it coming out through there. And it goes all the way around, down the front. Hey, Chocks, give us a turn on this. So I'm trying. Yeah, let's give it a turn. Keep turning it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And then you can see it goes down the length of. It keeps on going down the front. So that is like a little bit of subtle detail that we wanted to add. That's not actually in. It's not actually in the anime itself, but it's what's the word? It's not in the anime itself, but it's, how should I say it? It's just a little bit of subtle detail that if you go and see it, you'll see it. Now we could have just like completely covered it head to toe in like texture details like real cloth, but we were in two minds and we didn't actually go with that. We actually asked the club for some opinion on that as well. Adding this anime style, you would have noticed that this is chock full of lots of little black lines, just to give it like that kind of pop, like it's a frame from the actual anime itself. We didn't do it with Saitama. I wish we did. It's also a learning process. We did it with Mugen, and we did it with Jet, and we did it with Spike. And we will continue to do it with our anime pieces, just to have these sort of subtle little lines on there, just to give it that kind of that anime little flavor to it. So yeah, this is definitely. Do we need to make the boots a little bit darker? Do you think? Anyways, again, this is mainly all about adding a little bit of detail to the piece that doesn't ruin the anime experience or the anime feel, but still gives it that extra bit of detail that our pieces are known for. So definitely wanted to have that there. Oh, right, Mike. Yeah, this is a shitty webcam. No doubt in my mind. When you see the videos and you see the high-res photos, it's not soft. Definitely. So. Oh, nice one, Dallas. I really wish there were more people around when Mugen went up for pre-order. So, Giovanni, have you just joined us? Oh, I answered a lot of your questions, by the way. But here we are, right? Just to give you a nice little turn, Giovanni, since you just turned up. Check it out. don't worry, we have a documentary that goes through this hour and 20 minutes or so. We go through this in even a lot more detail than we're talking about it right now. Going back to his proportions, we talked about how Spike has these crazy, crazy thin, long legs, but he has this beautiful flaring out. His shoulder pads are really, really kind of triangular, and I really like how we've caught that. He's got this really nice wideness to it, to his shoulder pads. It's kind of like 80s in the far distant future, right, Chocks? So
We just needs more black wash.
Black wash for the legs, yeah, for the feet,
For the boots.
for the boots. All right, we can do that, guys. Don't worry. You know, we got you, fam. We got you, fam. So yeah, Johnny Staples, a anime flavor. Adding that anime flavor, we'll do that for all anime pieces. Of course, it didn't really make sense for Guts, so we didn't do it for Guts. But you know, this sort of styling, we wanted to do that sort of thing. So yeah, this is definitely where we're at with regards to the piece itself. A bit more detail, of course, is his fingernails have come out nicely. Yeah, you can see there's some fingernails in there, and that translates to the other side over here as well. Fingernails over here. Can you sort of see it? Move that out of the way, get that a little bit closer. Fingernails on the other side. Trust me, you'll see fingernails for that. And of course he has his trusty gun. It's all there, lots of details with the gun itself. Have a look at some of those details.
You alright?
Yeah, just if I move this across a little bit, instead of bashing into it. You can sort of see that. Look at those fingernails, the details on the gun. Pew pew. Pew pew. I was pretty surprised that they, at this age, they're using like sort of these types of guns in the future. Got like, I would expect more sort of lasery, but hey, it's a realistic gun from nowadays in the anime world. It's cool. So we wanted to add those details into that. And of course, all the details that you can expect from Spike. He has his double belt, his double buckles for his suit. All those sort of things are definitely all unincorporated, and we believe we've done a good job in capturing that. Hopefully you guys agree. And that's definitely why I wanted to give you that, you know, give you that feeling of it. Is a tie painted on our stylus or is it sculpted? The answer is it is absolutely sculpted. There is a 3D-ness to it that I will... Let's see if I can bring that out for you to see. Better to do it this way without his gun in the way. Can you see there's a thickness there? You can see it right there. There's a thickness. It might be hard to see, but it's definitely... Ay, ay, ay. Maybe if I get a little bit closer. Okay, I turn it. Can you see that? It sort of disappears. But yeah, there's a thickness to it, guys. Don't worry. Trust me. There's a thickness to it. Oh, you can see it, Dallas. All right, sweet. Cool. Yeah, so, you know, again, this is like a camera. This is like literally a webcam. And I'm showing you guys for the first time, but you'll see it later on. We'll run the video. We'll run that. You'll sort of see it. So in terms of Spike itself, the piece it ticks a lot of boxes for us. The first box is, does it look like the character from the anime in terms of the face? We hope you agree it does. Does it match the proportions of the character? The answer is, and this is stuff that we have to start off with. Does it match the proportion of the character? The answer is yes, it does, we believe. Does the pose look natural? Does the pose look good? Does it match his personality? We believe it does. Another checkbox. Does the proportions, did we say that bit already? The proportions, does the details that make his character him, like the eyes match, the way that the sculpt, does that all make sense? The answer is we believe it does. The point that we must do that first before we talk about the next part, which is of course the base, and of course the base itself is now a preference thing, and there's no right or wrong answer to that. You guys can have an opinion, we will have an opinion, etc., etc., but you know, definitely we felt that this was the best thing to go for when you consider a entire consistent line. And yeah, with all factors in consideration. So, what I want to talk about is there anything, Chocks, that we've missed out before we go into things like the pricing, and I talk a little bit more about the base?
No, you've already talked about the proportions, the details,
Oh.
and then like how it's gonna look along,
Got that bit.
along the line. Yes.
And of course, this is the regular version of Spike. There's nothing else to really talk about. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
That's fine.
Well, there's no... If you are seeing this for the first time, you won't know this. But if you've been following the club in 3D renders, of course, there is no illusions, but it's going to be pew pew.
I thought you were gonna pick your nose.
Oh, no, not quite. Chocks, do you want to do me the honor of
All
just
right.
popping that out?
Alright guys, so this is the regular version.
Well, just before we do that, I just want to show you guys. Obviously, it's obviously clear we're having a switch out arm here. I'm really, really happy the way that the hand seam is caught within the, because obviously it's a separate piece. It's within the actual jacket itself. So it really makes it, and of course you have the seam line here. It doesn't look obvious because it's like the jackets themselves and have like suits will have like these lines, just like, you know, my clothes does, your clothes does. It's kind of a natural thing to see. The way that we've hidden it within that line was something we wanted to make sure. So Chocks, we just want to bust that out.
Alright guys, so this is the regular version with the handgun. Okay. And the exclusive version will come with this handgun as well as the bang hand expression.
Just like that.
Alright.
Now this is all done by a magnet, so I wasn't even looking and I managed to sort of get it in with a bit of Chocks' guidance. There is a magnet in there, of course. We will this is the prototype. The magnet will be, you know, there's a good strength to that magnet. I don't feel any time that it's loose or anything like that, so that's really cool. Now check this out. Now one of the things that I wanted to do is this. This is the bang finger. Now I wanted to talk about the eyes. I didn't talk about this just yet because I wanted to talk about it with the eyes, with the bang pose in particular. It makes more sense. First of all, his head is very slightly tilted down. Now don't forget the camera lens is tilted down, but if you look at his head is very, very subtly looking down. Maybe you see it from the pose here. His head is very, very subtly looking down. Now the point is, if you have your eye expression looking very, very straight, so right now I'm looking very, I guess I'm looking kind of straight like this, and I tilt my head down, the pupils will stay within the whites. It will be equal on the left and the right, and the top and the bottom will be exactly the same. So if I just follow it. Now if we tilt the head down, that's how it'll look down. It will look, if I'm looking very straight, it will just look in the direction that the head is turned. If I tilt my head up and I keep my eyes in the same position, I'm looking completely forward. In order to give him a bit of subtlety and movement to his head, he has a very slight tilt to it, and it's looking down just a little bit. But the eyes, and the eyes is really important to give that impression of life to it, is the eyes are looking up a little bit. So the fact that your head is tilted down, your eyes are looking up, means you're looking completely straight. And the reason why you're looking straight is because when you look at it from the side, he wants to be looking directly the way he's looking at. Now this pose is really made sense from a couple of reasons. First of all, if you look, we didn't make his hand completely straight. You know, if you look at, we did something similar with King, and his arm was really pointed forward. He was like, you're next, right? And he was kind of tense, and he's like pointing, right? He's leaning forwards. His whole body's leaning forward. He's pointing like, you're next, right?
Yeah.
This one is more like, this is a subtle thing, right? We didn't want to, the moment that you make your hand straight, this is the sort of things that we have to consider, guys. So hopefully it's making sense when we do it. The moment you make your hand straight, it's more like anger and aggression. It's like, you're next. And it's kind of like, you, strength, you, right? This hand is not like that whatsoever. Not like that whatsoever. Check the way this hand is. This arm goes straight. It comes up to his eye level and then tilts. So the hand goes, the hand isn't, so the way this is, it doesn't just go, It doesn't just go. If you keep the wrist straight and you move it forwards, it means I'm shooting upwards, but it's tilted forwards like that. It's tilted forwards like that. So there are 3 movements in there. One is the arm, the elbow, and the wrist. To get that aligned up with So I wanted it to look the same way. Right now it's looking a little bit. There you go. So of course you have to think about camera and the way that they sort of distorts things a little bit. But if you look at it in the flesh, you can really sort of see how this really says I'm talking to you, and it's bang, right? This pose here, it sort of follows the line of the eyes, the way the eyes are looking. It follows the way that the hand is there. So there you go, I'm talking to you. This basically, I made this specifically for people like Petulia going, it's never gonna happen, mate. It's never gonna happen. Who dat? You'll be lucky, mate. Who dat? You'll be very lucky. So we got that here. The raising of the hand is not straight. And the reason we talked about not being straight is there's no anger in it. This pose is relaxed. He's a cool cucumber. Spike is such a cool cat. His personality is chilled and relaxed, but I can mash you anytime. So imagine he's like, first, so the way that you can consider that is, the way you can sort of do that is the way you bring out the hand. It's like, hey, you. Either I'm pointing at you, or I'm just like, just watch it. And that kind of relaxed but violent ability that's hiding under the surface really is there part of the pose. I'm happy that we can have this chance to really do these documentary shots. We didn't used to do these documentaries. Mm-hmm. You know, back in the day before you joined, we never did these documentaries, and it was just like, boom, here it is. And all these sort of subtleties and thought process behind it, no one would know without sort of making the connection. And the fact that we get to sort of tell you and explain to you, I really like that we can do that. So of course, if you can sit your asses through an hour and 20 minutes, but
I feel like we're doing it again.
Yeah, I think we're doing the whole thing. I kind of feel like
we're going to do
documentary again. And as a result, so you can see he's got a little bit of tension in the back of his hands, right, Chuck? So a little bit of tension in the back of this tendon, so you can sort of see that. And he's got a little bit of that going on, so it's not too relaxed. The relaxedness is in the way that the arm is not straight, but it's also like, hey man, you best. You can see the tendons over there, right? You best believe you better be careful, otherwise they're going to come for you. And of course, spoiler alert, this scene of course is also at the end of the anime hashtag spoiler alert. The bang bit at the end, of course, everyone knows that scene. Of course, it's you can look at this pose and think about it, him saying, hey, come on, and the way, or I'm pointing at you, or go and do this, or whatever it may be. The commanding pose and presence. But it's also an homage to that scene. Of course, it's not quite the same because he doesn't have a cigarette in that scene, and he's got a bloody face, which this doesn't. It comes with his arm, but it's sort of recognizable for that. It's recognizable for that. So would you have yours with the regular arm? Would you have it with the bang pose? You know, the point is, if you get the exclusive, you get both, you can choose which one you like. Uncle Scabs is not 100% confirmed on that, yeah? Spoiler alert. So there you go, guys.
Yeah, it's just like drama, right? You can't confirm a character's dead until you actually see the dead body.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, his twin brother. Right. Guys, we will be running a couple of minutes video. You can sort of see a little bit closer. It's obviously done in nice footage of what we just talked about, a bit more close-ups, etc, etc. It'll be a video. We will see you on the other side. We will then come back and talk about pricing, availability, all that good stuff, so don't go anywhere. Alright guys, see you in a bit. So really cool. I love that scene in that anime. That looked really cool. You know that bit where Ting did an amazing job. Ting's now been working on our videos for the last couple of ones, and I really love that. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's tight. That's tight.
Stop animation,
Yeah. Stop. Well, it's not just a stop animation, but it was quite. You listen to the music, you kind of get a little bit. What's the word? Brainwash is not the word. You kind of go into a sort of sense of just like it's the music's playing, and then all of a sudden, it brings it up, and then it's like, bang! I like the way it's sort of just a little bit chill. It gives me a little bit of goosebumps. Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, nipple is a bit hard. So that trailer will be dropping on the website, of course, YouTube channels, etc., etc. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the rights to do the music. It is what it is, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the trailer.
I mean, like I said, hope we were still able to capture that atmosphere, that kind of jazz feel, because like 1 minute we could be doing some very action, very in-your-face music, and then all of a sudden you get this chilled, laid-back character, stroke anime. So it's just a variety. That's what I'm saying. When we do products, we do a variety. Like last launch was very, very jolly, very jumpy, very happy, cutesy, and all of a sudden you get kind of a more serious tone, but kind of still laid back jazz.
I know.
It's like day and night.
Really is so, and Ting's done a great job with sort of incorporating both of those things. What a
just trying to capture that feel.
Yeah, shout out to Ting for sure. So that is where we're at, guys. How many cups of coffee? That's a good question. All right. So want to just, before we go into the price, I just want to give you a bit of history behind this and see why we're doing what we are and pricing it what it is and what to expect from that, etc., etc. Chocks, is something to add before we go into that, is that?
To what, the video?
Well, anything we want to say before we go into the pricing. Do you want to give some sizes or something like that? Why don't you give some? Oh, we kind of gave it before.
Well, I mean, guys, the video, the hype video and the documentary are all over on the website and then YouTube, Facebook, as always. So take the time to look at that.
Yeah, it's this size.
Because this information that we've been talking right now is only for you guys on the stream. But those guys that can't catch the stream, all that information will be in the video as well. So if someone asks, where's this information, please help the guys out. Let them know about the video. Share that around so everyone knows what's up, what comes with the regular version, what comes with the exclusive version. You know, the Coke can test, the measurements, all that is in the documentary and the hype video as well.
Zero worry about that, Tristan. I can say that with 100% certainty. There was no problems with this. There is no weight to it in the sense that things that have difficulty and leaning is because it's holding a lot of weight. There is nothing but its own weight to put in there, and it's in a square peg. That's going nowhere, mate. Trust me. Trust.
Guys, I just want to highlight this. I've also highlighted in the video as well that this whole piece is resin. The base is resin. It's not like base resin and then the rest PVC. I mean, a lot of anime PVC anime collectors that collects PVCs, pretty much the whole thing's PVC, ABS, etc. But this is resin, full resin. The whole thing, the head sculpt, the hands, the gun, the base, it's all resin. So
yeah, a lot of people might not understand that.
There's no mixture of that because some guys might collect anime statues, but sometimes
don't realize it. What is a resin statue?
Right, and then the base could be resin, and the actual figure itself could be PVC, or maybe just the head sculpt PVC. But right now here, this whole thing is fully 100% resin.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now it's been well documented, and it's actually because of the group that we are in this position where we have the ability to, what's the word? So this is going to be open for 4 weeks. It's an anime piece, but if it doesn't reach 1,000 pieces, it will continue to stay open until we hit 1,000 pieces, which if we don't, the natural stop of close of pre-orders when we go into order. So to be clear, that's because of the group understanding our difficulty in anime. And what I mean by that is and thank you for those who do and have taken the time to understand where we've come from with Saitama into Mugen into Guts, how anime is a new thing for us, and it's been treated differently than compared to the video game stuff, where we've had a lot more established timing on that. And yes, Yuki, there is a wire going. There's a pole going through there as well. So don't worry about that.
There's a rod. There's a metal rod.
Yeah. So how do I say it? Because of the understanding in the group, you understand it's quite public about some of the difficulties that we've been getting with what we regard is strength for the anime lines themselves. Now, a lot of people said perhaps it's marketing. Can you guys tell me, have you felt any different for the marketing for Spike? Because we've done something differently, and I want to know if you noticed it. We ran first of all, we did a teaser video last week, so people knew a week in advance that today was going to be the day that we do the reservation for Spike. Have you ever seen any adverts of this going into your Facebook feeds or anything like that? We've significantly been better in understanding how to use Facebook marketing, for example, in order to reach the right people, which we didn't really have with Mugen. Much more so with this. So did you notice that? Oh, Titus, that's how you found us. That's awesome, right? So we believe that the strength of the marketing has been increased significantly compared to Mugen, just simply because we knew what we were doing a little bit better. That's the first thing. Yeah. The second thing is, we want this so badly to do well. It would break my heart to see #finish the line, right? We really, really want this to do as well as we could, and it actually made us scale back ideas of and I said there's no right or wrong. We could have made this base a little bit more diorama-esque, a little bit bigger. I'm actually happy with the way this is now. Specifically, the genius of it will be shown as we continue with the line, where you have the different colors. I think that really, really helps. So the guys who suggested that really, really sort of solidified the idea of going for this style. So that's cool. But originally the idea was to actually maybe have something a little bit more bigger, but of course it would have been significantly more expensive, and I was actually very concerned about doing that. And I'm trying to understand, how can we do this so that this doesn't fail, that we want it to do well. And you know, it's really something that we're fingers crossed, and my legs are crossed, our fingers are crossed. And of course we wanted to do what we could do in terms of the price to make it attractive for first-time buyers who don't know who we are. A lot of first-time buyers will go, oh, who the hell are these guys? We never heard of these first figures, because they're not gamers, but they're anime fans, and they don't know who we are. So they come and see us and they go, well, who the hell is first figures? Are they scammers? Are they who are they? What the hell is a resin statue? You'll see that. People not in the industry, they don't go, I know PVCs, I don't know resins. Why is this so expensive compared to a PVC? Oh, because the material, and you know, the whole idea of the learning, we see it time and time again. It's not just, we see it time and time again, Chocks, with video game licenses. You know, when, you know, for example, Banjo guys will come and go, oh, we didn't know what this is, what's a resin statue? We'll see that even more in resin, in anime, because it's not so prevalent.
I'm hoping that because anime fans, they're more used to, they're more accustomed to collecting PVC figures.
Right. Over
the years, PVC figures have gone up in price. You guys should know that PVC anime figures have gone up in price, especially when you start reaching 1/7, 1/6 scale.
Thanks, Edgar. I've seen it.
And hopefully you guys will see the comparison. I know, like, the improvements have increased in that area as well. It's not just simple PVCs. They're getting more complicated and more intricate, right? But prices in general for PVCs have gone up as well. But I'm hoping that you anime guys will have a lot of experience over the years collecting that. Hey, this new material or resin or this kind of scale. I hope you guys can appreciate the price that we set here, and overall just looking at the, you know, compare it. I mean, if you want to start collecting something big in a different type of mirror or material, have a comparison. Come in the club, ask the guys and say, hey, what's so good about this resin? What's the pros and cons, and are there anything that can be done afterwards after purchasing it? I mean, like, you know, if you want to collect the full line, or do you believe any other lines could have potential, you know, collector's value or that kind of thing? Because it's a whole different market sometimes with PVCs and resins.
So when Lucas is talking about doing something with IGN, well, we've been quite consistent with IGN, certainly when Alana was there, right, Chocks? But usually what happens is we only give them pieces when it's finished. And once it's finished, well, we've already finished the pre-order, and it's too late again. So.
I mean, we do give the guys over there some early advance updates saying what's coming up next. But again, a lot of these items won't be sent out until they actually completed the production piece. And sending out samples is very costly as well. And sometimes when the product's not ready or the licensor is not happy to show to the public, we can't send that out. So yeah. But, you know, IGN's been very helpful. I mean, you know, they've been, some items they've been pretty much okay with showcasing every single item that I've seen so far. And yeah, I mean, like, if there's any other channels that are up for it as well, I'll be more than happy to look into that. Right.
So let's just talk about how it was. Saitama was $375. It was our first anime piece. It was done in 2016. $375. It's the same size as this, but it had a more complicated base, right? Mugen came out next. That was $450 off the top of my head. $450 off the top of my head. And that came out, that was announced, I think, about a year ago? Maybe not as long as that.
Mugen?
Yeah. Saitama was definitely about 2 years ago, 2016, around about September. Almost 2 years ago, exactly to the date. And as I said, Mugen was about $450, and that was, I can't remember when it came out.
Was it near the time of Taki? Around that time, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, NYCC. It was just before it was open. Oh yeah, it was before NYCC. So yeah, it would have been September. So about a year ago, coming up to sort of 10 months ago. Hazag. So the for those who quote fucking ridiculous, or like going, oh yeah, $75. So I wanted to say that the price for this piece, we really need this to do well, and we wanted, so, you know, again, talking about this base, a little bit more complicated. Of course, it would be more expensive than Mugen, because Mugen was a year ago, and prices from 2 years ago of, you know, Saitama $375, and now are light years away, right? That's a lifetime away in statue terms. But this one, we've got to do what we can. We've got to do what we can. Anime on F4F. It's not on life support. We're still supporting it, but we really want this to be kickstarted. So I'll be like whipping them out much faster, much better, with much more enthusiasm. The reason I talk about enthusiasm is things didn't go as fast as I wanted after Saitama and Mugen. Maybe because our marketing skills weren't up to scratch, and I can fully agree with that. But also because I feel like the longer we wait, the more likelihood that there is a anime fan base that starts just joining naturally. They'll come and join from other licenses, you know, oh, I like Banjo, so who so happens to also like Cowboy Bebop. Oh, I joined for Spyro, who happens to also like anime. It just made sense that if we just sat back and waited, you know, what was it? Let's say, for example, here's a good example, Jake Mayer, right? He said he found out about us because of the Varia suit relaunch, which was at the beginning of the year. Literally, December the 31st, January the 1st, January 2nd. He didn't know about us. He discovered us through video games, but is an anime fan, and he's, you know, he promised that he'd buy it today, right? Well, you know what I mean. But the point is, there's got to be other people like Jake that come in from something else and also like anime, and therefore the motivation between waiting for these anime pieces is because I need the club to get bigger, meaning there's more potential for people to also like the anime pieces. If we can see that this does well, it really motivates us to turn that around faster, not having to wait for more of a user base, because it's already there. If the user base is already there, we have the confidence to turn that up. So we really want Spike to do well, and this piece, I want to be really clear about something, is literally the lowest we can go in terms of just doing it for you guys. It's much more about getting this successful and people buying it than it is about making money on this piece, without being quite, how should I say about that, without being quite uncouth and talking about the profit side of things. I'm not here I'm not trying to bullshit in any sort of way. We're trying to get this to do as well as it can. As you guys know from the beginning, anime pieces for us have been very tough, and we really want to do what we can in any which way we can. The price is lower than we would have done for anything else. But I want to be really clear about something. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. This price will be, and I want to be really clear, Jet Black will be quite a bit more than Spike. Not only is he bigger physically, he's also a lot thicker. Yes, he'll have the same base. He's also a lot thicker and more material, but also likewise, we can't continue to do it at this level, if that makes sense, because that's not sustainable. The lights don't stay on. Spike is the main character, and he needs to do really well, and that's what I want. I don't want to see stuff like #finish the line. So what we can, I really don't want to see that. Okay, so guys, we do what we can. Chocks, we sit here with our fingers crossed, and we will tell you the price.
Hey guys, I mean, like, once we tell you the price, have a think about it. But before we start doing that, I just want to let you guys know that if you're new to this, you know, as Alex said before, we don't like taking money up front, the full amount up front. We only take a 10% deposit, as always. And you know, we do offer a 12-month flexi payment plan for this. So we'll work out how much it is per month if you went on a 12-month plan. You know, the reservations will start after the stream, and then it will open for a whole month, which is until August 21st. As Alex was saying, unless it hits 1,000, the pre-orders will continue to open until it hits that target or it goes into production. So
correct.
That's why we, from Berserk Guts, we extended that pre-order, and that is still open because that hasn't reached 1,000 yet and hasn't gone into production yet. So that one is still open, and that same logic will apply to Cowboy Bebop Spike as well.
All right, how much is a glass of
coffee?
Coffee. A cup of coffee. You don't have glasses of coffee, do you? Oh, it's a hot cup.
I'll just go straight into that.
Nah, I'm gonna give them the 12-month plan.
All right then.
All right, guys. If you go and buy Spike and you go on the payment plan for 12 months, Cedric, I agree, but that's something that we didn't do until later. If I redid things, I would do a DE, but of course, that's not where we're at right now. 12-month plan is $26.25. $26.25 per month for 12 months. It means that the SRP for both the regular and the exclusive is, Chocks,
$349.99.
$349.99. $349.99. You're minus $35 to place a deposit. That leaves you with a balance of $115. Divide that by 12 equals $26.25. $26.25 for the 12. 315. Sorry, did I say?
You said 115.
Sorry. Okay, 315. Okay, so $350. You're minus $35 as a 10% deposit, which you got to pay when you place your order. It's non-refundable. Up for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, it's non-refundable. There's a grace period of 2 weeks. Divide that by
12 months.
12 months is $26 a month.
And guys, we just want to
$26 a month.
really say that we have lowered the price as much as it can go for Spike. It's not really, how do I say it? The next one is going to be Jet. We've got to be straightforward here, guys.
Got to tell you guys really clearly.
The next one is Jet. Is massive, is bigger. To do that at that price is not so sustainable, as I was saying earlier on. It's just one of those things where, you know, we want the line to do really well, and not just this line alone, all the other anime lines.
It really is. This really has to be the one that helps get us out there, and the pricing was fixated on us when it came to the base and the value of designing. We knew that it wasn't going to be crazy bases like Mugen, because we didn't want to push the price up to $450. We made it $100 cheaper than Mugen. You can understand that this base has been. We knew it wasn't going to be, and it's okay to have a simple base, right? There's people. The focus is all on the figure, right? And when you put them together, it makes sense. But also from a monetary point of view, for the first piece, we really wanted to hit that. So that price point of $350. It is not sustainable, guys. It really is almost like we're giving it away without going in too much into it. I don't want to be crass about it. Don't want to talk about that side of the business too much, but please understand, if you go in and see other things out there and you compare that, even with our own light items, 375 for Saitama 2 years ago is a lifetime ago.
And that was lowered as well.
That was lowered as well, right?
That was lowered as well back then.
I really want you to really understand what this means to us. What this means to us. Is Papa Davis in the house? I didn't see him.
No, I didn't see him.
I can't begin to say that how I feel if this does really badly, right? And then it's like, finish the line when we've had like 100 orders of Spike. I'll be like, Spike's the main dude, and I'm like, you know, that's really hard for me to swallow. So what can we do? We're in touch with the pulse of the community as much as we can, and our collectors, and you know, our community. 350, low. Please understand that Jet will be quite a bit more. It's not going to be. It's still an anime, and likewise we lower it because it's anime. We've got to try and establish ourselves. Please understand that's what we're trying to do here, and I want to be really clear about something. There is an opportunity cost between this and a video game piece. A video game piece is in the normal levels, but we're already established in that. Anime, we can't keep doing it at this level because it's an opportunity cost, but we're using this piece as to springboard us into bringing it back to more normal pricing that's on par with video game stuff. So that's where we're at, guys. Americans can enjoy a low shipping price of
$35 US for the US.
35. Let's just break that down. $35 for shipping, $350 for the piece. Sub 400 delivered to your door. Unbelievable.
No VAT, no tax.
Yes. Whatever happens in September, we'll get.
Oh well,
asterisks.
I'm just saying. Hey,
whatever Trump may have something to say about that.
I've been telling Red Bull to hit me up, so we can work out a shipping deal.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. All right, 35 for the US.
35 for the US. All right, for the EU guys. So that's, you know, France, UK, Sweden, Spain, Norway, you know where you are, guys. That is $45 for EU. Okay, so Canada. All right, Canada has its own warehouse. So you guys, if you don't know, we have 5 warehouses across the world: UK, Slovakia, Canada, US, and China. So those regions, currently standing that there will be no custom fees or taxes. Are you going to increase the gain?
I've increased the gain because Nana says we're quiet. We'll put it back down.
I'm already
yeah.
shouting. All right. So
Well,
yes,
if you just
Canada is $55. Okay, $55 for Canada. Australia is 75. And other zones, for example, like Bahamas, Ecuador, Egypt, Cyprus, India, Canary Islands, Cayman Islands, you guys are $85. Okay, and Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, you guys are $55. All right, so that's the pricing for either the regular or the exclusive. So shipping prices are the same for both SKUs.
I'm really happy with the team that we could get to this stage. You know, this one was, we really had to internally, I had to have a long conversation with my partner as well. My partner John. He's the money man in terms of things. He doesn't. I have to sort of explain to him the pulse of the club. Being so close to the community has allowed for us to come up with this, and I can explain it to my partner, and he's supportive of that because I've explained to him where we're at. I just really hope that where we've said it leads to the desired results in terms of, you know, basically,
That's
I'm
right.
begging you guys, buy it.
Chan Smith, yes, the regular exclusives are the same prices.
Hey Yuki, we have, thanks Papa Davis. We have a day 1 edition. Chocks, you're going to explain that because Yuki's going to want to understand about that.
Yeah, okay. So, guys, so I just want to repeat myself here. So, tonight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, up until 10 p.m. Tuesday, this is called the reservation period. So, if you jump on the website and place your order, pre-order, 10% deposit down, you are reserved for this item. And I could only highly suggest you guys to make sure you come back on that Tuesday, because that day will be known as validation day, which is day 1. Right, so if you come back, we'll be doing a stream as well at 10 p.m. Hong Kong time, and then 1 hour later we will do the countdown together for the validation day 1. And what day 1 means is that you get an extra holographic sticker, some extra reward points, and also a signed signature card, just to say a special thanks to those guys that came on day 1 for something extra. And it also gives you on day 1, if you validate, you are in a chance for a low number for this statue as well, because this is the first statue in the Cowboy Bebop line. So, you know, first come first serve. If you click on it, the faster you click on it, the low number you will get. So yes, so if you have any questions, concerns, make sure you check out the blog post, and that will be shared in the club, that highlights the FAQ, how to validate, how to pre-order, the shipping costs, etc, etc. All that information will be in the club, so there's no way you will miss that information. And there will be admins and members and Alex and myself in the club over the weekend to help you understand the whole process.
Any questions? Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and then make sure you sign to our newsletter, because the emails will be sent out with a timer, a countdown timer. Which,
yeah, Chris, if you check the product page, as soon as you see it, there will be a countdown timer, as Chocks was saying.
that's right, a countdown timer. So
time.
It doesn't matter what time zone where you are, just follow that countdown timer.
Thanks, Hannah.
And that will tell you when to come and join the stream on Tuesday.
Thanks, Howard. Thanks, Dean. You know, I'm glad that you can recognise that we're really trying our best to sway people if they're he said he was going to buy it anyways, but he says that Howard, he was going to buy it anyways, but he says that hopefully the price will sway people as well that are on the fence, and I really hope that's what it is. That was the plan. It's not sustainable. Just want to really highlight that, guys, to manage expectations. Jet and the rest of the crew will be more expensive. I just wanted to how's the word? We're just closing our fingers all over and crossing everything quite a lot. So yeah, that's where we're at, guys. That's where we are at. So for us peasants who've never ordered from you guys, I want the day one exclusive edition. No problem, Dallas. All you need to do is place an order during the reserve period from now until Tuesday. Anytime you want, at your leisure. Watch the video if you're not sure if you want to buy it. Watch the hype video. Watch the documentary. Take your time. As long as you place your order before Tuesday, you can then join in on the validation stream, and then you can go for a low number. Or if you don't want to do that, you like to do it Nana size style, you just place your order right after validation opens. For 24 hours, you get all the day one bonuses right there, right then. Any other questions before we sign off? We got some stuff to do afterwards. But
that's right, Eric. Tuesday is the actual day for day one. That's when the day you guys will come back and validate. We will do the countdown with you on that day. We will go through the whole process of how to validate, how to pre-order, how to sign into your account on that day as well. So for now, put validation day one in your calendar on Tuesday. For the entire weekend, enjoy the documentary, maybe rewatch the anime, catch up with some of the members in the club, say hello to the new members, exchange ideas and concepts or whatever it is, and like what's the best time to come on Tuesday. You know, how should I prepare my display case, you know like how heavy they are, you know, in preparation for Tuesday. That's the best thing to do over the weekend.
So when it comes to Dallas asked, is a low number just an extra cost? No, it's a perk, Dallas. It's not an extra cost. But also he asked, what's the price going to be, estimate price for Jet and the rest of the crew? And I think that's a valid question, because we're telling you now it's going to be more than Jet. Sorry, more than Spike. And I think that's a valid question, because obviously we want you to buy the whole team, but you need to know that this one is not sustainable. I don't have the final pricing, but it will start with a 4. Just to be clear, it will start with a 4. So please be prepared for that. It will start with a 4. But hopefully you guys will support us through that. And hopefully you can see that the savings that you made for Spike, keep that. And you know, let's say for example, you thought that Spike was going to be $400. Let's just say that, right? This is a good way to think about it. You say you thought it was going to be $400. It's $350. You're pleasantly surprised. You take that $50 and you put it mentally to the side, and then when you see the price for Jet, which is going to start with a 4, you think about the savings that you made from Jet, from Spike, and you stick it onto that, and you make it a little bit better. Hopefully you'll understand that and see that. So I think that's a good question. I think it's fair enough that we should be transparent to tell you what that is, so you can have a completely informed decision when purchasing or pre-ordering, and whether or not you want to support us with Spike or not. So appreciate that.
I mean, one other way of doing that is go on the website, check out Berserk, check out Saitama, check out Mugen, check out some of the other statues that we have, recent launches that we've done. Check out the prices for the past half a year on our website, and you know, have a talk about it in the club.
Absolutely.
Yeah, think about it. Make that decision yourself. You know, like no one can tell you what you can do, but just have a look at it, gauge, you know, the prices in the club and out the club. Then you can really understand how and why we came to this price for Spike.
Right. In terms of what Victoria said, there will be a feeding frenzy right after this. If you're new to the club, go and sign up for an account. I will, in about 15 minutes after the show finishes, do a feeding frenzy, which will give you 100 F4F reward points. Make sure you snag that. And yeah. Hey, 3 PM, congratulations on your apprenticeship, mate. Nice one.
Hey, Eric, if you go to our main First for Figures page, at the top, it'll highlight groups. And in there, we'll say First for Figures Official Collectors Club. So if you click onto that, one of our admin guys will add you in.
Absolutely.
Just answer some like 3 simple questions, like are you a video game or anime or do you enjoy either of those? Where did you hear about us? Have you been to our website? And then that's it. It's really simple to join the club.
Old school, old timers who've been with us since the beginning will know a few things. And you should always tell the new guys to help them out when you can. The first one is, there is reward points to be had that's just sticking there for the F4F wrap I did a long time ago on that Sunday. And there is another points to be redeemed, and that is of course the 50k. The post I did about the 50k members in the club. Those points never expire, and I've made enough of them that it's like 50,000 of them. So any new person can redeem them, and I think there's a few thousand redeemed them. So there's new people, immediately they can go in straight there, and they can go to those 2 posts and just snag those for free if you help them. Just for that information, just thought I'd let you guys know that. So yeah, John Morales is giving that information. All right, cool. All right then, Chocks. The anime figure. I know you partnered with the Anime Gami store. Will this spike be the same price with them or more? I'm sure it will be the same. I'm not sure what they're doing in terms of that. Hopefully they'll be putting on that soon as well. Uncle Scabs, make sure you nab it. They're always cool. Dallas, jump in the club. They will be able to help you find that pretty easily. All right, Chocks. Anything before we wrap it up? Is there any notices that you need to do?
Yes, guys, just to remind you, a blog post will be posted up with regards to the Cowboy Bebop pre-order launch, and in that blog post will be a statue giveaway as well, as always. Sign up to that contest form. It's really simple. Just type in your name, email address for a chance to win the exclusive version of Spike. That blog post will be posted on the main page later on, so check it out. Enter anyway, doesn't matter, who knows, you might win. So enter that, join the club, check it out, and hopefully the whole 2 weeks will be about Spike content.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And one other last thing before we go, next Friday will be ACG Hong Kong. We will have a booth at the event. It's a local event. It's really just to get our name out there, to let
locally,
to let guys know that we are around. We are Hong Kong based, and Jeff is organising that for us. And hopefully the team, some of the team members will work out over the weekend, over the days of the event. So hopefully we can get you some pictures and information for you during that Friday. We should be doing a stream, right?
Yeah. Nana say at 25,000 we announced that. You know what it means. It goes up to a K. Right. Chocks.
All right.
That's another one wrapped up.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for the support as always. It has been Friday Q&A with Chocks A, number 79. And of course it is the 20th of July 2018. Have a great day, America. Have a good evening, Europe. Have a very good eve. We should be, good night's sleep, Asia. And you should definitely be sleeping, Australia. And of course, as always, I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Chockles.
F4F is love.
F4F is life.
Bring it up with me, Chocks.
Like that.
Bang.